Elliott, Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin, and Martin County. So this is a thunderstorm warning until 11:30. This is a base thunderstorm warning. When what we talked about earlier with a base thunderstorm warning is just 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-sized hail. 70 miles is destructive, and then you get to 80 mile an hour, which is the catastrophic tag.
Another tornado warning.
Okay, and this is for?
Let me pull it up for you. It's just an update.
So it's a continuation to the Elliott and Rowan County. It looks like they shrunk it down considerably. This is still for 11 o'clock p.m. the expiration time. And we are still seeing that 2-inch diameter hail again, which is hen egg sized. Imagine a hen egg, and imagine getting pelted by that. That will hurt. If we can put that hail tracker back on, Megan, I want to pinpoint again as to who is seeing that. I mean, it's died down a little bit. You can see it right here still, but it has died down considerably from the past few scans. So again, if you're in the alt area, if you're in the ordinary area, if you're in the Stark area, you are seeing some hail being picked up at this time. Again, we are seeing quarter to hen egg size hail being reported with this system. Let's go to our wind tracker real quick. We'll look at the wind here, the wind tracker. Yeah, it's weakened considerable from the past several scans. So there's some good news with this system here.
Yeah, here's the look at the past couple of scans. I mean, you're seeing it kind of die off a little bit. That's why I would assume they extended it a little bit, but they only extended it like a little bit. It's really just staying in Elliott County. We are still seeing that overlap of the Rowan County one from earlier, as we are still in between the two of them, but it is extended only for Elliott.
So this is one that, again, would not surprise me if this was able to expire at 11 one bit. And again, this is just kind of the precursor as to what's to come. Take a look here at the radar. Let's go back to radar. And I want to zoom out and kind of show the broad perspective because, as we said, there's 3 different waves. This is the second one. We go back to the north, and yep, here we go. So from Lexington down to Bardstown, down to Bowling Green, this is the wave that's going to push through in the evening and overnight hours. Now, the good news with this, if there is any, do me a favor, go to this one real quick.
Yeah, they did just update it. I was going to let you finish before I got to it.
There is a confirmed tornado on the ground with this.
We got a report saying that a train spotter just west-southwest of Somerset had a visual on the tornado, as well as multiple power flashes with that system. Okay,
now they just extended, because of this, they did extend that tornado warning. Now, this goes into effect until 11:45. Because now there is one that has been observed. And we go back, let's go back to live pinpoint Doppler radar. Let's go back to let's go to storm relative, and we'll take a look here at the wind speed and direction with this. Right there, you see this area right here in blue. That's where we're seeing that rotation. If you are in Somerset right now, you need to be in your basement. You need to be in the lowest level of your house. You need to be away from windows. If you're in a mobile home or if you're in a place that's not like down, you need to get out. You need to find shelter elsewhere. I cannot stress that enough right now. Megan, I want to look at our debris tracker and I want to see if we're seeing any debris on this. And what we're going to look at is I want to look and see if there's any color that sticks out. And what we're going to look at right here. Okay, I don't see any of the bright blue, I don't see any of the bright blue dots on the map, so there's a little bit of good news there. If we had a bright blue dot right here, I'd be very concerned. So I don't see anything out of the ordinary in terms of debris signature with this. So let's go ahead and go back to, let's go to base. I want to go to the base and I want to go back to the storm relative. And again, you can see that rotation right here. Let's put a storm track on this. This is moving to the east at around what, 30, or was it 35 or 45?
Let me check that one for you. Okay. I believe this one's the 45.
I believe so too. So if we can get the storm track on here, and I want to go ahead and put this up, and let's move this up to the northeast. because we need to keep a very close eye on this, because now we have one confirmed on the ground right here.
Yes, this one's 45. I just pulled that up for you, and I'm going to zoom out and move over. The storm track going from the center of that all the way out. I'm going to go ahead and extend it to I-75 just to see where it will be as we're going through the next couple of minutes.
Ruth area 1108, looks like Mount Victory 1118, Bald Rock 1126, the Vox area at around 1132. Megan, if we can keep this on, go ahead and get rid of the storm track. But what I want to do is I want to get some landmarks and I want to get some street names on this storm. Because if we have one that, if this has been observed, it's going to be right here where we have that blue and that purple shading. So here's the Oak Hill area. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. We might have to zoom in a little bit tight.
I don't think it's going to pull up.
It's not going to come up. Okay, never mind then. Let's go ahead and zoom out.
Let me go to
the radar scan real quick and see what we have.
Storm relative. Sometimes it pops up on that one. No.
I don't know why it's not doing it, but okay. So there's the Oak Hill area right here. Oak Hill's getting that rotation right now. If you're near, let's say, the Alcalde area, then you need to be in your basement, lowest level, away from windows. You got a lot going on. There's Ruth. This rotation is heading towards you if you're in the Ruth area. Here's Somerset. Somerset needs to be taking cover right now because, again, this went from being a tornado warning to now having the observed tag that there is one that has been confirmed by the National Weather Service. Let's go ahead and pull out, and let's go ahead and give the broad picture, and let's go back to the radar scan. And again, you can see where that storm is. And you can see right here, that's why we're focusing on this one now, because this has an observed tag on here. About 22,663 people are impacted with this tornado warning. This will go into effect now. It has been extended to expire at 11:45. Megan, do you have anything?
I will say that I've been looking at this storm in particular. I mean, since it was outside of our region around 9:50, and that was only a couple counties out. It's been moving for a while, and it's kind of a slow mover.
It is. One thing that I will mention on this map right now, if this thing holds together, which right now it's been doing a pretty darn good job at holding together. If this thing holds together, look at who's going to be in the line here. London, North Corbin area. So if you're in the London or Corbin area, this is just to the west of you. Please pay very close attention to this system. Okay? If you know people in the London Corbin area, I know we have coworkers here that have family in the London Corbin area. Give them a phone call. Let them know you got a tornado warning. That's just to the west of you near Somerset. A tornado has been observed. And this system is still kind of holding together. If you know people along I-75, give them a heads up too.
Yeah, this is your first alert.
Yes.
If you are driving at all on I-75 tonight, avoid that. Wait until that system moves through before you make any trips on that road. I mean, we have, just ahead of that storm, we're seeing a lot of that fast wind still with gusts. We have very fast wind gusts. We've been tracking that all day long with wind gusts sustained in the 50s at some point. So just be careful.
And as we mentioned too, it is a Friday night. I know there's a lot of people out. I know, I'm a father of a 13-year-old. I know there are teenagers, young kids that are home alone while their parents are out. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to turn up your phone, turn up your TV, all the way up while you're in your safe place. And please pay a very close attention to what Megan and I have to say over the next several minutes. There's a tornado that's been observed in Pulaski County. This goes into effect until 11:45 this evening. It has been confirmed we are seeing 1-inch diameter with this system in terms of hail. That is quarter-sized hail. We have about 22,663 people that are being impacted. If this thing holds together, it's going to be going towards the London and Corbin area. If you're in the London Corbin area again, and you're out and about, you're a young person, you're watching us on whether it's Facebook, whether it is on our streaming TV devices, what have you, make sure you have the TV all the way up or make sure you have us on your mobile device. And please pay very close attention to this, because now one is observed. Megan?
Yeah, and I just want to really, we've been talking about this a little bit over the course of the past couple of minutes. It's dark outside. It's very hard to see anything that's going on when it's this dark, this late. And according to the storm report that we got, that this tag became observed for, it was only visible that there was a tornado because of lightning. That was the only thing that lit that up. So it's very dangerous to be outside. It's dark. You cannot see what's going on. Stay on the inner portions of your home. Stay away from windows. Basements are your best option as we're going through the next couple of minutes.
And as you can see right now, this is going right over Somerset.
Yes.
It is right over Somerset right now. So if you're in the Somerset area, we've been preaching this for the past several minutes. Please, please, please be in your safe spot. Be in your basement, be in the lowest level of your house, away from windows. If you're in a mobile home, if you're in a trailer court, get out. Just simply put, get out. Please, please, please take this seriously. And as Megan said, tornado warnings are dangerous anyway. They're 1,000 times more dangerous at nighttime because you can't see anything. And the only reason why this was observed was because of a lightning flash. Imagine if that didn't happen, Megan.
Yeah.
Imagine if we didn't have that and it just, blew away and it destroyed, some communities. This is a fast-moving system. This is moving around 45 miles per hour. And as we mentioned earlier, you're going to get these systems where they speed up, they slow down. They speed up, uses its energy. It's like the analogy, like I mentioned, of running. They speed up and slow down. They slow down, they catch their breath, they get their energy, then they go back up again. There's that rotation right there. So it's south and southeast of Somerset. Somerset, you're not out of the woods just yet. But there it is right there. There's your rotation. Megan, let's try this again. Let's see if we can see if we can zoom in tight enough to get some information on here. So there's Somerset. So there's, looks like the Colo area. If you're in the Colo area in Pulaski County, this is over you. Piney Grove, over towards the Whetstone area, over towards the Mount Victory area. Mount Victory, this is going to be heading towards you if this thing holds together. Here's the Hale community. Ironic. Somerset, again, is under the tornado warning. Again, if you're in those cities or communities that I just listed, is this a new tornado warning? I believe this is a new tornado warning that just got extended, Megan.
It's for Laurel, Pulaski, not.
Okay.
Not
so we just mentioned this. If you were in the London area, if you were around the North Corbin area, London and North Corbin, or not so much North Corbin, but I'd still take this seriously. London area is now under a tornado warning. If we can get the information on here, let's go back to the radar scan and we'll go back to the storm track real quick. If we can get the radar up and go, let's get the auto information on here.
Considerable damage.
So this has two tags. This is for Knox, Laurel, Pulaski, and Rockcastle County. This goes into effect until midnight. There is an observed tornado. We just talked about that a few minutes ago. An observed tornado has been picked up with this. This has a considerable damage tag. The considerable damage tag with this one is going to be 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Obviously, a tornado has been confirmed, but look at the hail size with this. Again, we are seeing that 2-inch diameter hail with this system. You look at the amount of people being impacted right now, 42,090 people being impacted by this system. So let's go ahead and go back to our wind speed, our wind tracker here, and we'll put that storm track on. We are focusing right here on this system. Right here, that's where we're seeing that rotation. Go ahead and put that storm track on, and let's go ahead and put that to the end of the tornado warning right here. So it looks like the Dykes area, around 11:15, the high top area.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for Laurel County, northwestern Knox County, east central Pulaski County, south central Rockcastle County, until midnight. At 11:07 p.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Ruth, or near Somerset, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Hazard, damaging tornado. Source, weather spotters confirm tornado. Impact, you are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. The tornado will be near Mount Victory around 11:15 p.m. Bunch around 11:25 p.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include London, Levi Jackson State Park, and Lesbos. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until midnight Saturday for the following county: Knox, Kentucky.
Places could see 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and you had that 2-inch diameter hail right here, okay? The other thing to note, because London is a pretty good-sized city, look at how many people right here are being impacted. Just over 42,000. And this is going to go into effect until midnight. Again, we cannot stress this enough. There has been one confirmed with the first system near the Somerset area, near the Burnside area. If you were in the London area, if you were to the west of London, if you are in Knox, Laurel, Pulaski, Rockcastle County, I need you to be in your basement. I need you to be in your lowest level of your house. Get away from windows. If you're in a trailer court, get out. Again, as we mentioned, it is a Friday night. I know a lot of people are out and about in London. A lot of people are out and about in London. It's Friday night. Please take this seriously. Mm-hmm. We cannot emphasize this enough. One has been observed with this system. We can't be any more clear than that.
And I want to go back to that debris because it is starting to pick up.
I'm starting to pick up. We're starting to see some stuff here. Look at that right here.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see it co-located where we're seeing
right
that rotation. That means what this is pointing out is that debris is being picked up with
We've
this
got
storm.
something right here. Mm-hmm. Right there. If you're in the Mount Victory area, that's to the west of you.
I'm going to go back to the radar so we can try to pick up some of those city names on there, some of those street names maybe. It's still not wanting to do that.
Let me try this real quick. Let me go back one. Let me move forward one real quick. It's not letting me. Let me see real quick because I'm kind of curious now with that what streets are being impacted. Let's see what's going on with this. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go back in and we're going to pinpoint into that tornado warning, the new one here. And again, we cannot emphasize this enough. If you're in the London area, you need to be seeking shelter right now. Actually, you should have been seeking shelter when we first said that this system was heading near you. Okay, now try it.
We're just putting on some labels of where we're looking at for road names so you can see where this is located.
Okay, so here's the East Atkins Arthur Road area. Looks like the Bolt House Ridge Road area. Here's New Hope Church. Megan, if you can move the map over, move it just over towards the London area. And keep the city and street names on, please. Okay, so here's Pine Creek Church. Here's the Bernstadt area. Okay, looks like the Whitson School area. If we can zoom in a little bit towards the Bernstadt area, we'll get some street names on with this one, because we'll go ahead and give people. So here's County Farm Road. So here's London. Here's Johnson School. Here's the East Bernstadt area. Okay. Was this Highway 137 north of East Bernstadt?
Yes.
So it's like Highway 137, Cheney Ridge Road area to the northeast of Bernstadt. This is Whitson School. If you're in the Pine Creek Church area, if you're near, looks like Baker Cemetery Road, Rock House Road area.
Rock House Road.
Okay, so if you're in those street names or if you're near those landmarks I just mentioned, tornado warning with a considerable damage tag, and a tornado has been observed. We do have that 2-inch diameter hail tag on here. Let's go back. So while we're in this mode, if you can do so, let's go back to the debris tracker. Okay, now let's go back to where we were seeing that, that blue right here. There we go. Looks like it was near the White Lily School area. Let's go back, let's zoom in very close, very tight. I want to get these streets on here. Make sure these people here are taken care of too. Looks like the Happy Hollow Road area is seeing a little bit of debris. Near, what church road is this?
That is Malvern Hill Church Road.
Malvern Hill Church Road. So if you are in these two roads, or if you know people who live on these roads, I would be very concerned with this.
They need to be in their safe spot.
They need to be in their safe spot. And there's a scan right there. It's like Friendship Church is getting ready to see some debris. Providence School, Providence Road.
And I want to explain this just a little bit more. What we're using this specific product to show you is where that location of this system is, where it's picking up debris, and that's why it's highlighting it that in that blue color, meaning that items are being picked up with this system as it moves through.
So basically think of it this way. When you have radar, because what we're, let's get a little bit nerdy, if you will, Megan. So radar has two different polarizations. We'll go back to the radar scan, and what you're looking at here, and let's zoom out, this is classic radar, okay? This is a classic radar scan. This is what everybody is used to seeing. So what happens is you have the radar that's going up this way to scan, okay, well, we're hitting something, okay? Well, the second polarization, what Megan was just showing, that debris tracker, is it scans this way, but then it's also going to scan this way. It's going to do a vertical scan. So now it could be, okay, we're hitting something, but the second scan, that vertical scan, is, okay, what are we hitting? Are we just hitting rain? Are we hitting birds? Because that does happen. If we tilt the radar scan all the way down, you can see a bird migration. Are we hitting debris? Are we hitting hail? So that second scan, Megan, if you can go back to the debris signature, that vertical scan right here is that secondary scan on the radar. That's why it is a different color scheme than the radar, to differentiate the two. So yes, that's why that dark blue shading right here is a little bit concerning with this scan. So there's the wind speed and direction. There's our rotation tracker. If you're in the Mount Victory area, it's right over you. Whetstone School area, it's right over you. There's Shopville, right here. Somerset, it's just to the east of you, but you're still in that tornado warning. Again, this has an observation tag on it. This is making a beeline towards the New Hope Church area. If we can go ahead and zoom in just a little bit and get those landmarks on here, and then we'll do the storm track. Okay, so there's the New Hope Church area. Here is the Cane Creek Wildlife Management area. Here's the Maple Grove area. There's that rotation. We just have a new severe thunderstorm warning out too. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go ahead and put this rotation on here, or the track.
Okay. We also got we have two severe thunderstorm warnings.
We have two of them, okay.
Here's a look at that track right now. Again, this is set to expire as we're heading to midnight. I'll go ahead and go to the edge of that warning just so you can see what's happening over the duration of this warning.
Okay, so High Top, 1134. London, 1143. Looks like the McHarg area, 1147. Fletcher, 1150. Looks like the Langnau area, 1152. Again, this is as if a tornado warning wasn't dangerous enough, okay? This has several tags with it. You have the destructive, or the considerable damage tag, is that what it has on it?
Yes.
Considerable damage tag, and you have the observed tag. And the only reason why this has an observed tag is because somebody witnessed it over a flash of lightning, because it's after 11 o'clock at night. That's the only reason why. Go ahead.
I do want to point out, because we had someone ask, the tornado warning towards Rowan County did expire.
Yep. So yeah, Let's go to, we'll get to this in a second. We'll get back to this. Let's pull out, and I want to show the next wave that's pushing through, because as we've said, we're going to see 3 different waves. We had the first one this morning. We just had a few thunderstorm warnings with that one. We had the tornado warning that was in effect for Wise County earlier this afternoon. Now we're seeing this wave push in, but this one right here is what we're going to focus on throughout the overnight hours. Megan, if you can put the alerts on, I want to see if there are any tornado warnings with this one. There are not. It looks like just some severe thunderstorm warnings with this one. So that is some good news that this system, now that we're getting into the overnight, go ahead.
There is a tornado warning, but it is kind of hidden down towards the bottom. It's south of Bowling
I see it right there, south of Bowling Green.
But yeah, that is part of that next wave that we're looking at as we're heading into the next couple hours once the system continues to track more towards the east.
The good news with this, Megan, if there is any, is that we are getting into the overnight hours. We are losing that heating with this. So this is slowly less and less becoming more of a tornado event and more of a wind, hail, heavy rain type event. And then as we go to the overnight hours, it will be more of a heavy rain event. So again, a little bit of a silver lining, if you will, to this, because this was when it was in St. Louis, when it was in central Indiana, when it was in western Kentucky, southern Illinois, there was tornado warning after tornado warning after tornado warning after tornado warning. So let's go ahead and go back into this one right here. This is one for Knox, Laurel, Pulaski, and Rockcastle County. This has a considerable damage tag on it. Okay. 2-inch diameter hail, and about 26,960 people being impacted with this system. Again, if you are in the London area, if you're in the Bernstadt, the East Bernstadt area, even North Corbin, even though you're not under that tornado warning, it's awfully close to the North Corbin city limits. Again, you need to be in your basement, have your phone, have your tablet on, have WYMT.com or the WYMT app on your device, and keep it tuned here. We will be staying on here until this system goes through. Megan?
Yeah, we're just going to continue looking at this one. This is our only tornado warning in our region. And again, it does have that considerable damage tag with it. And I'm just going to zoom out a little bit just so you can see the difference in between this cell versus the rest of that line. I mean, it's considerably larger, and I'll go ahead and circle it just so you can see just the structure of this cell in particular, why we're seeing that considerable damage tag. It is a large cell, fast moving winds. I mean, we're still tracking that rotation with this system. And I mean, we've been watching this for the past almost at this point, more than 1 hour.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a loop of the past hour, and that's the time that it's been in our region. It's been an hour. And even before that, we saw it outside of our region. I mean, I'll just go back slowly over the past couple of hours, and you can, let's see when you start to pick it up.
Start to pick it up.
Yeah, start picking up there. It's traveling. It went towards Columbia, and it finally got into our region as we head into that 10:30 mark, and it's been continuing to roll through, just gaining strength over the past couple hours, and that's why we have such a shot on this one, why we're looking at it so intently, is because it's been a very long system.
Right, and Megan, again, I want you to circle this. I am very, very concerned with this right here. When we showed the debris tracker earlier, it did have some dark blue. Megan, go ahead.
And I just want to reiterate, I mean, we've been saying this multiple times now through this system. It not only is it considerable damage, but it's also nighttime. It's incredibly difficult to see out there. You should be avoiding driving at all costs. I mean, you can see it's going to get to I-75 within the next 20 minutes is what we're tracking it with that system moving at 45 miles an hour. So we need to make sure that if you are anywhere within this warning, that you're already in your safe space. If you have not already done so, and again, this is set to expire as we're heading into midnight, so while it's still traveling, it's relatively slow moving. As we mentioned just a second ago, in the past hour, it's moved from the border of Pulaski County to the other border.
I want to go ahead and toss to Steve Hensley. Steve has some information to pass along to us. Steve, go ahead.
Eric, thank you. I'll get back to you in just a moment, but a serious bulletin has just come down from the Somerset Fire Department. They have just posted on Facebook as of 11:15 that the southern side of the city has been hit by a possible tornado, in their words. Crews are responding to weather damage in the Stoplight 22 area as well as Parker's Mill. They say to please avoid that area. Poles and power lines are down. Again, to repeat this bulletin from the Somerset Fire Department, they are reporting the southern side of the city has been hit by a possible tornado. Crews are responding to damage in the Stoplight 22 area as well as Parker's Mill. I know you guys have been talking about this storm moving through that area, and I understand we've also seen some video. We're trying to get copyright cleared that may actually show a tornado or funnel cloud in that area. So a very serious situation has developed in Pulaski County as this is straight from the Somerset Fire Department. They are seeing damage from a possible tornado. Eric, let's go back to you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Megan has, we were just talking about this, the debris tracker that we've been looking. Here's Somerset right here, okay? So here's Somerset. Here's the Whetstone School area right here where I'm circling. Here's Mount Victory. This area right here, shaded in blue. This is our area of concern right here. And as Steve just mentioned, portions of Somerset have been hit by a tornado. And it looks like it's going to be right here is where we are focused hard with this. And again, we gave, the heads up well in advance. Let's take a look here at some street names again. What is this?
Parky
Garage or Parky Ridge. Looks like that might have been one of the roads that was hit.
So if you know anybody who lives on the Narrows Road or Pond Ridge Road or Rooks Branch Road, it is moving east in your direction. If you are not already, you need to be in the center portions of your home. That's that next scan. You already can see it's starting to pick up some debris on the Narrows Road. And again, it's making its way toward Pond Ridge Road, Rooks Branch Road, as well as Rooks Road, and then a little bit farther on as we're heading to West Line Creek Road. You need to be in your safe spots if you are not already. This is a, yes, Eric?
Do me a favor. I want you to zoom out on this. Keep on the debris. Zoom out. And I want to go back a few scans. Let's get Somerset on the map real quick.
You want me to go back to when it was over Somerset?
Let's go ahead and zoom out to where it was in Somerset and keep it on the debris. And I want to do a scan over the past several minutes. And you can literally point out, we can follow that blue line. Right, go a little farther, right there. Let's move it up so you can start to see how it goes over Somerset, how it intensifies, and how it just starts to push its way to the east. Right there. And that system is twofold. Why we had the considerable damage tag and why it had that observed tag. Mm-hmm. Let's pull out, because look at where this debris ball is. Look at where I-75 is. Do me a favor, get the ruler on this right here, and I want to put a ruler from the distance between this to I-75.
And I will also mention the main portion of the storm has now moved into Laurel County.
Yep. Okay. So let's go to pinpoint Doppler radar. Yep, we're going into Laurel County. So there's London right here. So again, this is a tornado warning. This has an observed tag on it, and as Steve just mentioned, we are getting some damage reports now from Somerset. So there's your observed tag, 2-inch diameter hail, and this has a considerable damage tag. I don't know how to be any more clearer than that. There is one on the ground.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up that velocity just so you can again see
Right
that
there.
location of where we're tracking that. And I'm also going to put on the tracker of what we're looking at in terms of the next couple of minutes. And I'll actually go ahead and extend it past, because the history of this storm is that it's gone on for a while, and I can see it continuing. I mean, we haven't really seen that much of a lessening of the winds over the past couple of hours. I mean, as we mentioned, it's been the past 3 hours that we've
At
seen
least.
some rotation.
So again, if you're in the London area, if you know people that live in London, 14 minutes. It's going to be near there. 16 minutes, I should say. 16 minutes near you. Maplesville, 11:51. Portersburg, 11:59. Top of the hour, Bush. Urban, 12:04. And it's like the Seabury area, 12:08.
I'm going to go ahead and zoom
Go
in
ahead.
tighter, get some more cities on there.
Absolutely, please.
Because there are,
New Hope Church. If you're in the New Hope Church area, this is heading your way. It's right over you. It looks like Cane Creek Wildlife Management Area, seeing some rotation. What is this? Is this Rule or Rulo School?
Rulo.
Rulo School, okay. So there's Rulo School right here. YN School, this is going to be heading towards you. If you want to go ahead and zoom in a little bit tighter and get some street names on, we can. Go ahead. Ricks Road area. Which road is this, Megan? Right here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Which road is this right here?
That would be Pond Ridge Road.
Pond Ridge Road, okay. Then you have the Narrows Road here. You have New Hope Church. And then you have, was a Sinking Creek Road?
Yes,
Right here?
Sinking Creek Road,
Okay.
just out to the east of that system.
Yep. So again, if you're in one of these roads that I just mentioned, you're seeing some rotation with this. And again, this has been observed and a confirmed tornado on the ground. Wow. We're getting some debris with this.
Yeah, and this is that same product that we've been showing you earlier, where we're seeing that bright blue on your screen. That's where this system and that rotation is picking up debris. And I mean, as you're looking just past Pond Ridge Road, that system
This
just
is
moved
heading
past through,
towards
and
the
it's-
New Hope Church area.
Yeah.
Again, if you're in the New Hope Church area, this area right here is heading your direction. So please take cover as we go into the next several minutes. This does expire at 11:45.
And we'll go ahead and just give you that overview for anybody joining us now. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. Here's a look at this cell that we've been watching with that considerable damage tag. With that warning, we could see up to 2-inch hail. As we were mentioning earlier, that's about hen-sized egg. And then, excuse me, we're also looking at the set to expire as you're heading into that midnight going into Saturday. But we've been talking about just how long the system has been moving. Would not surprise me if we did see that extended as we're going through the next couple of minutes, but we'll keep an eye on it, see how the rotation's changing over the next couple of minutes. But right now, the warning is for Knox, Laurel, Pulaski, and Rock Castle County. If you are in Clay County, it's not in your region. However, you need to be alert, you need to be aware. If you know any family members that live in the counties that I listed, including Clay County, make sure that they are keeping watch, being weather aware over the next couple minutes as we continue to track this storm rolling through, because it is a considerable storm, and we had that observed tag on there because we did see it was storm spotted that there was.
Yeah, and to reiterate what Steve said a few minutes ago too, from excuse me, the Somerset Fire Department, the southern side of the city of Somerset has been hit by a possible tornado. Says crews are responding to weather damage around the Stoplight 22 area, as well as the Parker's Mill area. And of course, we confirmed that when we did our analysis using our wind tracker as well as our debris tracker here. Somerset Fire Department does say, please avoid that area. Poles and power lines are down. Live again. So again, if you know people that's, and I said this a while back, that's in the London, Corbin area, along I-75, give them a heads up. Be like, hey, we have some more rotation just to the west of you. Another tornado warning has been issued.
And I'm just doing a zoom out right now on my own personal radar app, and it looks like we are right now looking at the only tornado warnings that are currently issued with round 2 and 3.
Okay, so there's nothing out. So once these are done, then everything else is tornado or thunderstorm warnings out west. Is that what you're saying?
With this system currently, we only see 2.
Let's go back to the leading rotation here, the one near Manchester.
Excuse me, sorry. Move over just a little bit more towards the east, and you can still see where that's located. Again, this is set to expire.
So we know this one's been producing some stuff. Well, it's been producing some stuff. So let's go ahead and zoom back in on this one right here. So if you're in the Bush area, if you're in the Marydale area, that rotation's right over you. There's no other way to put it. It's right over you. If you're in the Hooker area, it's going to be making a way towards you. Let's go ahead and move the map a little bit farther towards Manchester, and we'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit because there's Manchester right here. So again, if you're along the Howell Rogers Parkway, this rotation is being picked up and it is moving along the Howell Rogers Parkway, and this system does have a history of producing some tornadoes. Again, we've had the video and we've had the photos to support this, and Somerset Fire Department has said something as well.
And I want to add just on that point that he just said we have gotten photos and videos, but what we're telling you to do is still stay inside. These photos and videos have been sent by members of firefighters, police departments, storm spotters. If you are watching, you need to be inside. You need to be safe. The images that we have gotten have been taken safely for us. So we want you as your number one priority to be inside, center portion of your home. Basement's the best option, away from windows, because this is a tornado warning that has been observed with a considerable damage threat. We're seeing those extremely fast wind speeds. I believe with this tag we had 70 mile per hour wind speeds.
Yes, correct.
And we're still seeing that hail up to, I believe, 2 inches is what it was. I'm going to pull it back up for everybody to see. But yeah, 2 inches.
Yep, and it still has that considerable damage tag.
Yeah.
Real quick, stay on the radar, stay on this palette right here. Go ahead and zoom the map out just a little bit, and then move the map to the right a little bit. There we go. Because I wanted to show you something. Notice now I-75 from London down to the state line is under nothing. This does not mean that you're in the clear, okay? And I'm going to explain why. London, Corbin area may not be under a tornado warning right now. That first one has expired for you. You're not in the clear. I'm worried about that one right there near Pulaski County and the Somerset area, because if this is going to follow the same track, it's not going to be long before that same area that just expired is under another tornado warning.
Yes, and we already saw that first system roll through. It could have already created damage, already put debris out and about, and that second system right behind it will pick that up.
It's moving the same track along the Howell Rogers Parkway. Or it's going to be moving along the Howell Rogers Parkway, I should say. So again, if you're in Laurel County near the London area, near the North Corbin area, even though you are not under a tornado warning right now because that first one has expired, do not let your guard down because of this tornado warning right here, just to the west near Somerset. And it's kind of the same thing. We're seeing some rotation being picked up. Is this also moving to the east at 45?
I believe so. Let me double check for you though.
Okay. If this is moving to the east at 45 still, what I want you to do, Megan, is I want you to turn on our...
45.
Okay, let's turn on the rotation tracker. And I want you to pinpoint into where we're seeing that rotation. And then I want to put a storm track on that and see when that's going to hit Laurel County again. And then we're going to go back to the one that's got the considerable damage, because right now it's going over Manchester. Go ahead.
Do you want me to do the tornado or the considerable damage one?
Let's do the tornado one first. Okay, let's do the tornado one first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the wind tracker on here. And I see a little bit of rotation still with this.
Looks like they did shorten
it
the end
a little
of it,
bit.
but they have not extended it.
Right.
Again, that does not mean that driving on I-75 is safe. We still want you to stay indoors.
Right, and that's why I said, you know, even though London's not under a tornado warning, don't let your guard down yet, because this is still pretty much active. Looks like you could be near the London area, ETA around 12:32. So we'll go back to that. Then we're going to go back to the one here from Manchester. And it's like near the Bush area is seeing that. So
we're just continuing to watch that system right now, but we are watching those fast winds. I mean, it's the same system that we've been watching for, I mean, at this point, hours.
yeah, so there's that rotation right there that we've been keeping an eye on with this, and you can see kind of the storm track with that system. So that's kind of verifying right there what we're looking at. Now let's go back to the next. Let's go back to the one back behind here, because again, we're starting to see that rotation. You can kind of see it right there, how it knows how it's lit up and knows how it's pushing to the east. So this is pretty much taking the same storm track. And if I were in London right now, if you're in London, I'd be very concerned about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I know I already mentioned this as well, but we had that first system move through. It's already created damage across the region. Damage has been reported, and that second system is just going to roll through and potentially pick up some of the debris that's been left behind with that first system. So even though this doesn't have that considerable damage threat, even though it doesn't have that observed, does not mean that this system could not be damaging with the already existing debris on the ground. So that's why, again, stay indoors, keep on paying attention to the weather out there, stay away from those windows. Basements are your best option. You want to be prepared as the second system rolls through.
And one thing to note too, Megan, because we've been talking about the tornado warning that has the considerable damage tag, that has the tornado observe tag. I don't want you to get in the mindset of saying, oh, well, based on this one, this is just a tornado warning. They're all bad, no matter how you slice and dice it. Matter of fact, that's going to be the new one that will include, once again, Clay, Knox, Laurel, Leslie, and Owsley County. This goes into effect until 12:30. And you can see it right here.
It does have that considerable damage.
That does. Actually, no, it does not. Move this map to the right a little bit because it's picking up the other one. There we go.
There you go.
This is okay. So this is the correct one. Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Pulaski, Rockcastle until 1 a.m. So remember when I said if you lived in London, if you lived in Laurel County, even though you weren't under a tornado warning, don't let your guard down, because what do you think is going to happen? There it is. Second tornado warning within a half hour for you guys. This is going to go into effect until 1 a.m. This is Doppler radar indicated. We are seeing quarter-sized hail being picked up with this system. So again, we now have that tornado warning, but we still have the tornado warning now. This is for Clay, Knox, Laurel, Leslie, and Owsley that has the considerable damage tag on it. That's picking up Hennig size hail. If we can go back to the wind tracker, and I want to look at this because there's the rotation here. Yep, right there. There's that rotation there, and there it is here. This one right here, Megan, the one that was just issued, I'm kind of concerned with because unlike the last.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for Laurel County, East Central Pulaski County, South Central Jackson County, South Central Rockcastle County, Northwestern Clay County until 1 a.m. At 12:07 a.m., A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Bent, or 13 miles east of Somerset, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Bunch around 12:15 a.m. London around 12:20 a.m. East Burnstead around 12:25 a.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include McClesville, Langnau, and Meriddle. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 1 a.m. for the following counties in Kentucky, Clay, and Jackson.
Orange shading means that this track can go either here or it can go either here. And then the farther out you go, notice how it gets wider. So that track can either go along here, and if it does, it'll get very close to London. Or as like what we mentioned too, it could take it and go up this way with it. So that's why that cone is shaped the way it is. The farther out you go, the wider that cone gets, the more real estate that we cover. Let's go back to this leading edge one right here. Keep it on our storm relative mode. And I want to pinpoint over towards Manchester. Because you can see right now near the Seaber area, that rotation is now over the Seaber area.
And if you're in Blue Hole, you also need to be in your
absolutely.
safe space.
Anybody within that tornado warning, anybody that's with any of the tornado warnings, I should say, needs to be seeking shelter right now. We are
not picking up on any
not picking
here.
up much. So there's a little bit of good news there. Let's go back a few frames on the debris tracker and let's see where that started to dissipate. Okay, so go back a little bit.
Yeah, right there you
right
can
there
see
it was,
it.
you can see it. So go back and move it a little bit. Here, then it went in.
It kind of dissipated.
Dissipate right there.
And then it
picked up
reformed a little bit.
And now it's kind of, yep.
You can kind of see a little bit of it, but in that last scan, it did taper off a little bit.
Keep it on the debris tracker.
You can see where it was.
Well, and zoom out. Yeah, you can see where it was, but zoom out and go to the storm to the west of London, because I think something just caught my eye for a second. Go back a few frames. Okay, kind of zoom out a little bit.
So it is picking up.
It's picking up something right there. That could be something. That's something that needs to be looked into. Right there, yeah, and you can see right where that rotation is. So that's kind of in check, if you will. Again, if you are in the East Burnstead area, if you're in the London area, we have rotation just to the south and southwest of you. I am very concerned that, again, that this is going to push its way towards I-75. We already had one wave push through that did have a tornado picked up with this.
Mm-hmm. And I'm still just like looking over the past couple scans
Megan,
for that second.
Zoom into that tornado warning real quick, please, because I think they just put an observe tag on this.
I think they might have. Let me switch to them.
I think they did. Let's go back to this. I think that's got an observe tag on it. Yes, it does. And this has a considerable damage tag. There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and check the chat, see if there's anything in here.
Okay. So now we have 2 tornado warnings that have a considerable damage tag. We have the one that was confirmed that is now pushing over towards the Manchester area. We now have the one that we were looking at earlier that was picking up a little bit of something on the debris tracker and has rotation with it that is pushing its way towards I-75 near the London area.
Yeah.
I am kind of curious to see the ground truth on that one.
They're currently typing, so I'll let you know what that next update is if it's relevant. But
Can we put the wind tracker on here? And I want to zoom in back on this system. And Megan, while they're typing, kind of keep a close eye on the one in Manchester. I want to keep an eye on this one here near the Mount Victory and London area. Again, if you have people in London, you need to be calling them up and tell them, hey, we have now an observed tornado being picked up.
They mentioned that there was a debris ball that popped up on the latest scan with the Pulaski cell. It has not appeared on our radar just quite yet, but we are tracking that, and I'll let you know if I see it. I'm going to track it on my on the other computer.
Yeah, we're getting it right here is where we're seeing that rotation. So again, this goes into effect, what do they say, 1 o'clock this expires?
Let me check for you on the other computer. It is set to expire, yes, at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock, okay. So again, if you're in Pulaski County, this is the second time within the past 30, 45 minutes that you've been under a tornado warning that has an observed and a destructive or a considerable damage tag. There's the rotation that's just south of Manchester. This is the one that we've been following now for a while that did indeed produce a tornado that was just to the west of the west and south of Somerset. It did. This is one that potentially hit the south side of Somerset earlier this evening. It is now pushing its way towards the Manchester area. If you're in the Hector area, the Plank area, or the Big Creek, Markham, Spring Creek area, here's your first alert. This system has had a history of producing some tornadic activity. We received the video earlier of that, and this is one you don't want to mess with. Do not mess with these at all. Go ahead.
That tag for the one that we're talking about right now is set to expire in about 15-ish minutes. You can see how close it is to the border of that, so I'm curious to see how they'll extend it over the next couple minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit and show where it's trapped. There you go. Just as I mentioned, they just extended that tornado warning as it was set to expire in about 15 minutes. Here's a look at the new one.
Hold on, because this does include the city of Hazard.
Yes.
This does include the city of Hazard.
So this is for Clay, Knott, Leslie, Letcher, and Perry counties, set to expire at 1 a.m. We're going to track this again. This is that observed tornado that we have been tracking for the past several counties. It started outside of our region, moved into Pulaski County, and then we've tracked it through Laurel, and now it's in Clay on its way to Leslie County, and then it will be on track for Perry County and Knott County as we're going through the next hour. And there you go. There's our
phones
alarms going off.
Yep. So we are now under that tornado warning with a considerable damage tag. This goes into effect until 1 a.m. The reason why everybody's phones are going off, regardless of if you have them on silent or not, is because this does have a considerable damage tag on this system. An observed tornado has been reported, and we've been following this now for the past just over an hour. It is now south of Manchester. We have 2-inch diameter hail being reported with this system. This has a considerable threat tag on here. About 31,000 people are being impacted with this system. This now includes the city of Hazard, the Cutchin area. Megan, if we can go ahead and move the map, zoom in just a little bit tighter. Let's get some more city names on here. Here's the Big Creek area. Let's go ahead and move the map towards the Hazard area.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for central Leslie County, west central Letcher County, southern Perry County, southwestern Knott County, east central Clay County until 1 a.m. At 12:16 a.m., a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Boho or near Manchester, moving east at 40 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Hazard, damaging tornado. Source, radar confirmed tornado. Impact, you are in a life-threatening situation. Flying debris may be deadly to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, and complete destruction is possible. The tornado will be near Hector around 12:20 a.m. Bob's Fork around 12:25 a.m. Hosea around 12:30 a.m. Hayden around 12:35 a.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Woodin and Fu. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 1 a.m. for the following counties in Kentucky: Clay, Knott, Leslie, Letcher, and Perry.
Damage tag and an observed tornado that has been spotted with this system. And as Megan and I have been talking for a while, this has not been letting up. It's 12:21 in the morning, and this system has not let up at all. So this is very, very concerning, Megan. And the fact that we've had damage reported with this system in the Somerset area is very, very concerning to me.
And we've seen visual of this storm as well. And it's going to continue over the next couple of minutes. I mean, again, this is set to expire as we're heading into that 1 o'clock mark. But even then, I wouldn't be surprised if it continues, because again, it's just continued to go through multiple counties. I remember the first time I really picked up on it was around 9:30-ish outside of our region, and it moved into Pulaski County, then Laurel, then Clay, and we're making its way into Leslie County in the next couple of minutes. I mean, within the next 15, that's when we'll see it near that Big Creek area and then into Leslie County. So we're tracking the storm. That's why it's very important for you to keep up to date with all of this information that we're telling you on the WYMT First Alert Weather app. Whether you get that from other sources or not, you need to be safe during the system. You need to be in the center portions of your home. Kids, grab your helmets if you have that. Put it on your head. Keep yourself safe. Grab your pets. Bring them in with you when you're going to your safe spot, because this is a considerable damage tag. We're seeing considerable damage with this system.
One thing to note too, and I know a lot of people at 1222, they're now logging on to the weather app. They're getting on Facebook now. They're getting on the WYMT streaming TV devices, and they're like, what in the world is going on? Why did my phone just go off? I have all the notifications on silent. I have it set to where it doesn't alert me. Here's the reason why. Normal tornado warning, you wouldn't get it. It'd stay silent. When you have a tornado warning that has a considerable damage tag and an observed tag on it, it doesn't matter if your phone's on silent. It doesn't matter if your notifications are turned off. You're going to get that notification regardless. That is a safety thing, because that's one of those that you need to know. So as of right now, it is 12:23. We are getting some people obviously just waking up and now tuning into WYMT. So let's go ahead, and I want to go back to the radar scan. So for those that's just now tuning in, figure out what in the heck is going on. Here's what's going on. We have a tornado warning with a considerable damage tag. This is for Clay, Knott, Leslie, Letcher, and Perry County. This goes into effect until 1 o'clock in the morning. A tornado has been observed with this system. It has produced some damage around the Somerset area. That is something that we do know. We do know it has produced some stuff just to the west around Pulaski County as well. This has a considerable damage tag on here as well. So again, if you're in the Big Creek area, if you're in the Hayden area, if you're in the Hazard area, if you're in the Cutchin area, if you're in Viper, if you're in the Emelina area, you are now under that tornado warning that has that considerable damage tag, and it has the tornado that is observed with this. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm going to switch gears. I want to look at our wind speed, and I want to look at our wind direction real quick, because what we're looking at right here, and this is the reason why it has been observed. Look at this right here, and we'll pinpoint to the south and west of the Big Creek area. near the Hector, the Plank, and the Markham area. What we're looking at right here is that rotation that is being picked up right here. And this is the reason why that tornado warning that has the observed tag, that has the considerable damage tag, has been issued. Again, if you are in the counties that I just mentioned with this system, you need to be in your basement, you need to be in the lowest level of your house, you need to be away from windows. If you are in a mobile home, if you are in an area that's kind of elevated, you need to get out right now and you need to find shelter elsewhere. This does have a history of producing some tornadic activity. As we say that, we have another tornado warning that is being issued. This is a tornado warning for McCreary, Pulaski, and Wayne County, Kentucky until 1 a.m. Now, Megan, one thing to note with this is it's one after another, after another, after another. This is another one that has just been issued. Megan, if we can zoom out.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take real quick, I'm going to zoom out real quick. And you can just see how we have the series of tornado warnings just going one after another, after another, after another. If you are in London, if you're in Manchester, if you're in Big Creek, if you're in Cutshon, if you're in Asher's Fork, if you're in Hazard, you are under a tornado warning with a considerable damage tag. And this has been observed. We've had the video, we've had the photos of people who are trained to take these in these types of elements. And now it is pushing its way into Perry County. I will tell you this right now, Megan, that one that's getting ready to push into Perry County, I'm very concerned about. Go back to our wind tracker, and I want to look at the one around Laurel County. We got to keep an eye on them too. So yeah, here's Laurel County. You can see that rotation right here along I-75. So if you're on I-75 near the London area, you are seeing some rotation. If you're near the, it looks like, zoom in, because I think this is the Bernstadt or the East Bernstadt area, right here north of London. If you're in, yep, this is the East Bernstadt area. If you're in the East Bernstadt area, you are seeing some rotation right now as well. And the thing is, Megan, is it's literally just been one after another after another. And it's just training. That's literally what it's doing, is it's literally just training and following the line of the previous. So we have some rotation again near the East Bernstadt area. And we have it near the Big Creek area as well. And on top of that, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning to the north of this as well.
I did step out to talk to our director. So when I was out, this new one was issued, right? That we were looking at above Wayne County. Okay. And that one does not have an observed on it or a considerable, but we are still monitoring that.
Right.
I just want to highlight that. I just came in and I wanted to make sure I pointed that out for you guys as well. So we're tracking, I mean, at this point.
We've got, what, 4 tornado warnings out now, 3 with a considerable damage tag. This is what I find unbelievable.
Yeah. And
at 12:28 in the morning. And on top of that, we have a flash flood warning until, what was that, 4:15?
Yes. And we have, I mean, flood watches across the region too. I mean, this is not only producing those tornadoes, which of course we are tracking, we're seeing those very fast winds all across the WYMT viewing area and across the U.S. We're also seeing those hail chances. I know earlier we saw up to hen egg sized hail, but also that heavy rain. And I know when we were doing the forecast this morning, some places could get 1.5 inches, with local places seeing even higher amounts in that 2-inch rain or more. So that's why we're focusing on a lot of aspects with the system, but our main focus right now are these several tornado warnings that we're looking at. And of course, we do have those observed tags too for the ones highlighted in pink that we are watching, with those considerable damage tags on top of that.
Megan, let's go ahead and pinpoint over towards Perry County, back into looks like Leslie County, Clay County area. And I want to put on our wind tracker because that's getting Okay, yeah, it's right here.
So we're on that border between Clay and Leslie right now, just south of Big Creek. But we're still expecting everyone to be in that center portion of the home. I know we say it over and over again, but it's because it's important. We want you to be safe. We want you to keep up to date with this system. You need to be taking cover, bringing your animals with you. Again, that helmet if you have that, kids. Go to your bathrooms, go to your closets, go in the hallway, away from those windows. Basements are the best place to be right now as we're watching these storm systems roll through the region.
And I know, again, we're now Saturday at 12:30 in the morning, okay? People are still out. It's a weekend. We get it. It's a weekend. We don't like our weekends ruined either, but please take this seriously, folks. We can't be any clearer than that. We are seeing that rotation near the Big Creek area. Here's hazard. This system is going to push its way. It looks like it's probably going to go south of hazard if I were to put the storm track on this, because it's not moving straight north. It's moving east-northeast, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, if we put the storm track on here, hazard's right on the cusp of that storm track. But if you're in the Hayden area, if you're in the Stennett area, if you're in the Cutchin area, the Farler, the Defiance, the Slemp area, I'd be very concerned.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to actually pull up the debris, see if anything's being picked up right now with that system.
I don't see anything out of the ordinary.
I think a lot of that is because it's not really in a big area. Because you can kind of see, I mean, not much right there, but yeah.
Okay. If we can put the timestamp back on here, I'll go through the times of who's going to get impacted with here, with this one. So go ahead and put the names on here. So it looks like hazard was around the top of the hour. Hayden will be 12:43. Wooten at 12:48. Cutchin at 12:51. The Farler Viper area between 12:56 and the top of the hour. Defiance around 1:04. Vico around 1:06, and the Blackie area at 1:11. So we can't stress this enough. This system, the reason why it has a considerable damage tag on it, and the reason why it has the pink highlight around it, is because this has had a history of producing some tornadic activity. There was a tornado that was reported earlier near the Somerset area. And you can see right here on the rotation, Megan, if we can kind of pinpoint in a little bit tight on this, I want to get some, see if we can get some landmarks and some street names on here, just south of the Big Creek area.
I'll have to reset it real quick to get the street names on there.
Yep, there we go. And it looks like we either have a new tornado warning or an update that's coming in.
I believe it's an update.
Okay, this is an update.
Let's see.
Okay, so this is, again, at 1 o'clock. This does have a considerable damage tag on it. Look how fast this is moving. Put the hail tracker on here, please, and let's see what we can... Yeah, see, we're getting some hail. The good news, if there is any, we're not seeing any of the greens.
Yeah.
So we are seeing a little bit. So yeah, let's go in. There's the Langdon School area. Here's the Big Creek area. Go ahead and throw our wind tracker back on here, please, and we'll get, we'll see who's, okay, so here's the Hargis Hollow Road area. Here's the Piney Grove School area. Here's the Markham area. This is the Big Double Creek Road area. Again, if you're in one of these roads or if you live near this area, okay, we just got a new scan in. So again, the Gilbert's Creek Road area. If you're near the Davidson Fork Road area, this system, I'm talking to you guys, because we are seeing that rotation being picked up with this.
And this is just south of the Hal Rogers Parkway.
Correct.
That's what we're looking at right now, in between Big Creek and Hayden.
Okay, and again, they are doing an update to this. We are getting, again, that tornado warning with that observed and considerable damage tag on it. Now, with that in mind, Tornado Watch is in effect for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. This goes into effect until 3 o'clock in the morning. So let's take a look here again at live pinpoint Doppler radar. And again, you're noticing there's that tornado warning right here that is in effect. This is for Perry County. This is for Leslie County, Clay County. Megan, if we can pinpoint back in on this again, because I had to reset the map. If we can get a load of this one right here. There we go. This does have a considerable damage tag. This is observed. This has the observed tag on it as well. This has a 2-inch diameter hail tag. So again, if you do have, if you do live in the hazard, the Cutchin area, this does have the considerable damage tag on it. So again, here's your heads up. Again, basement, lowest level of your house, get away from windows. Just please, as we go through the next several hours, just please make sure you are staying safe.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, as we've just continued to reiterate over and over again, this is an observed tornado with a considerable damage tag that we are watching, and we have been watching. I mean, as we looked through the past couple of hours at this point, this exact system has continued to move through several counties. I know about, at this point, 2, maybe 3 hours ago is when I first picked up the signature of this system, and it's continuing to move as we've gone through the past. I mean, it's just continued, and it's gained strength at certain points. We've seen it have larger hail or smaller hail signatures, kind of going back and forth, but at this point, we're still just seeing that rotation. That's the main thing that we're really focusing on through the next couple of minutes as we travel just towards the east of that Big Creek area, seeing a lot of lightning surrounding that system as well. Again, an observed tornado with that considerable damage tag that we are watching. Did the one behind it get downgraded?
Let's see what we have.
So it looks like it's
Yes.
just red. Okay, so the one behind it that we're watching that was moving through has been downgraded just to a tornado warning. The considerable tag has been removed, as well as the observed tag, but we are still under that tornado warning right behind it. But again, with this system right here, the one that we've been watching, the one that we will continue to watch, still under the considerable damage tag. Can we go to the velocity to see where that's at right now? Now, again, I want to point out what this means. So we have the light blue and the red, and that's what's showing us a 2D representation of the 3D atmosphere, that rotation that we're looking at as it continues to move through the next couple of minutes to up to an hour. Again, this is set to expire at 1 o'clock and includes portions of not only Leslie, but Perry County, and it continues into Knott County right behind it. So that's why we're tracking the system, as we did see that it could get as close to hazard as possible. But for the most part, we're looking at this range of where it's headed over the next couple of minutes. I mean, if you are anywhere near Cutskin, can you get a little bit closer to get some more cities in there? But if you're anywhere between Big Creek and Cutskin on that Hal Rogers, around the Hal Rogers Parkway, you need to be making sure you're already in your safe spot. Is that Davidson Forks Road, as well as Gilbert's Creek Road? That's what we're looking at right now for places that need to be protected. We're already starting to hear the rain picking up here in Hazard. I don't know if you can hear it all over our mics, but we're tracking this storm, and again, it does have that chance of continuing to track into Hazard, so that's why we're keeping a close eye on it, and we'll still keep you updated as the system does inch closer to us. But right now, again, it's as you're traveling towards that Davidson Forks Road and Oilbert's Creek Road, excuse me, that's where we're seeing the most of that rotation on the way towards cities or portions of our region between Stinnett and Hayden. So again, that's the system that we're tracking, the system that we've been tracking. Can we go to storm relative velocity as well, see what it looks like over there?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it looks about the same, but I mean, we're still going to track this system as it continues to track through the next couple hours. Hopefully, there has been nothing that's picked up on debris. If you'll switch to that as well, so we can see kind of what we're expecting with that. Okay, there's the good news right there. For the most part, it looks like we're just tracking those really fast wind speeds, still seeing some hail and some fast winds. And again, heavy rainfall is a really big aspect to this system, as we've seen. I mean, I'm sure if we could look at the Mesonet, see how much we've already gotten. I mean, it's a lot, and we're still under a tornado watch for all of our region, with the exception of Dickinson and Buchanan counties in Virginia. But we're going to continue to track these chances for tornadoes as we're heading into the next couple hours. What time is the tornado watch set to expire?
3 a.m. And I'm loading up the Mesonet information right now. This is since midnight, so this is not 24 hours.
Yeah.
But since midnight,
We've already seen
McKee's already picked up 3,800 7-inch, 1,600 7-inch near Jackson, 300 7-inch near Hindman. And then you see from Monticello to Whitley City to Barberville to Harlan. Those numbers are deceiving because, again, this is since midnight. Now, one thing I'm going to do, Megan, is I'm going to call up live pinpoint Doppler radar. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay our tower cam, because I want you to look at our tower cam, because we are getting a nice lightning show, if you will, out in front of our studio. So you can see it if it comes up right there. You can kind of see what's going on there. So we're getting a little bit of a lightning show right now, right in front of our studio. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's another aspect of this storm. On top of everything else, you still have the threat of lightning. And I mean, take a look at that lightning count for this entire scan that we're looking at. 861 flashes of lightning in the past 15 minutes. Just updated 872. This is a very active system. I mean, we're starting to see that round 3 right behind it. I know we just zoomed in, but this is that round 2, and then right behind it we have that round 3. Still tracking round 2's storm right now, especially this tornado warning in particular that was observed in Pulaski County, and we're continuing to see it all the way up into, I mean, now we're in portions of Leslie County with that considerable damage tag up to 2 inches, or that hen's egg, I know we've been describing it like that, of hail with this system. And again, it's not really letting up. We've seen this system for over 2 hours at this point through the WYMT viewing area, and it's just not stopping, and has no signs of stopping as we're going into the next couple of minutes. So I want to go ahead and just pinpoint out some of the other tornado warnings that we're watching. The one right behind it, we're seeing Clay, Jackson, and Laurel. Now, this was downgraded. We did have that considerable damage tag on it and the observed, but it has been downgraded to just that tornado warning, set to expire at 1 a.m. Yes, Eric?
Just received word that we are getting a report of some damage near the Lilly area, near the Eli Jackson area. So, again, this system does have a history of producing some damage. So that's why we've been talking about, if you're in the path of this, just please heed this warning and please stay safe. Because this has a history now. We're getting some reports of some more damage.
Is this a tornado warning in Somerset, or is that, I can't tell based on the color of what that is. Is that a flash flood?
Yeah, it's blending into that's a severe thunderstorm warning until 1 a.m.
Okay, and there's also a flood warning on top of that as well.
Correct, that flood warning goes until 4:15.
So then right now we're just tracking these 2 tornado warnings. Are there any other tornado warnings in the southeast? Last time I checked, there was not.
Yeah, I see nothing in terms of tornadic.
Okay. So these are the 2 systems we're tracking, and again, we saw this system right here as it started all the way outside of our region, and it's continued to move in, and you can pretty much draw that line from Somerset to Hazard is that track that we've been seeing, and it's still making its way into our region as we're going through the next couple minutes. I mean we're getting closer and closer. Can you put it on the wind and then see how far away it is from the border of Perry County, just so we can track where it's located, because right now it's over
It's
top
right
of
over Hayden.
Yes, so if you're
It
in
is
Hayden right
over
now,
Hayden.
you need to be in that space. I know we've been saying that over and over again, but really anywhere in this tornado warning, you should already be in your safe spot, but especially if you're in Hayden, it is right over top of you. We're wanting you to be as close to the center portion of your home, away from those windows. You want to stay safe, especially right now as we're continuing to track that system. Can you go through the past couple of scans? It does look like it might be downgrading a little bit. Now, I will mention you're seeing some of that purple coming out as well. That's because we're towards the end of that system as well. So it's picking up outside of where that rain is falling actively.
All right, one thing I want to look at real quick is I want to look at our hail detector. So yeah, we are seeing some hail being picked up with this, and you can see right here, it looks like it's about, I'd say it's about nickel-sized hail with this. So
is that 0.6?
that's 0.6.
Okay. 0.6-inch hail right over top of Hayden. That's where we're not only seeing, again, we're not only seeing that hail, but we're also seeing that rotation. So you need to be protecting yourself, especially as that system continues to move through. And if you're anywhere in that track from Hayden to Viper, you need to be in your safe spot. So here's what you need to do. You need to be getting to that shelter if you're not already inside of your home. You need to get as low as possible if you are not inside, so like a ditch or ravine. Avoiding overpasses is crucial. And you want to make sure that you're covering your head if you're inside. Kids, I mean, I know we talked about that. Bicycle helmet, always a great option. Grab your pillows, cover your head. Keep yourself protected as we're going through the next couple of minutes. As that system is approaching your city, you need to be getting ready and prepared for what you can expect as that system does travel into your region. So again, if you're anywhere under that tornado warning, you need to be protected and starting to move into your safe spot. So here's a look at what we're telling you about, or what's the safest points to be. It's away from the exterior walls in your house. A hallway, great option. Closet, even better. Bathrooms, away from windows, great. But the best option that you can do is go to a basement. That will be the best place for you to protect yourself in case that system does approach your home. You want to make sure you're, again, being as close to the center portion of your house, away from those windows, as that system does track closer and closer. Can we go back to live pinpoint Doppler radar just to get another visual of that system as the rain is picking up here at the WYMT studios? We're really starting to hear it ramp up in the next couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and zoom in. And you can also see that lightning count is starting to increase as well, just outside of Hayden. And again, it is continuing to track through the next couple of minutes. It looks like it might be traveling a little bit more east-northeast than east than it was a little bit earlier. You can go through the past couple of scans just so we can get a better visual on what it has been doing.
Yeah, that's what it's doing, is going more to the east-northeast.
Yeah. So I would say that it's probably going to follow the track and go just south of Hazard, if I had to put that track on it for us. So let me see when it should get to that Perry County border, Knott County border with that storm track. So it'll get to Four Seam around the time we go into about 1 o'clock, and this is set to expire at 1, correct? Or 1:15.
I think this one is. I think this one's 1 o'clock. Let me double check.
Okay. So we'll see how that continues to change over the next couple of minutes.
Yes, this is 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. So as of right now, it's set to get right about here as we're traveling close to that 1 o'clock time frame. So we'll see if they do extend this or not. As we did see on that last scan, maybe it's starting to go down, or maybe we had a bad scan. So we'll go ahead and check again on the velocity, see how that's going to be changing over the next couple of minutes. And I mean, as you can see, that lightning count is incredibly high, especially as you're traveling towards Hayden area. And again, I mean, as we mentioned, the system is moving at about 45 miles an hour. We've seen this system moving for multiple hours at this point. I mean, we are at currently 12:48 in the morning, and we still have plenty of time for the system to continue to roll through our region. Again, our tornado watch does not set to expire until 4 o'clock.
3
a.m. So Wooten, that's when we'll start to see that system move a little bit more towards the east around 12:50, so about 1 to 2 minutes from now. Then by the time we head into Frew, about 12:54, 12:58 Farler, 1 a.m. for Seam, and that's the time that it's set to expire. Again, we'll see how that changes, but if it is extended, we'll see it Viper 501, 101, 105, Defiance and Vico around 108. So we'll see how they extend this or if they do cut that short. But again, right now we're still tracking that considerable damage tag for this observed tornado warning that was observed at this point a couple hours ago in Pulaski County, about, what was it, southeast of Somerset was when it was confirmed?
Yeah, southeast of Somerset.
Yeah, and from then on, so we can kind of zoom out a little bit just to picture, to show people how far this system has traveled. Again, we're right here in Hyden, and it was observed all the way in Somerset a couple hours ago. And we've since then seen a couple of other tornado warnings added. We still have this tornado warning right behind it that we're also tracking. So, I mean, anywhere from London to Hazard needs to be in your safe spots as we're going through the next couple hours. I know we mentioned this when that system was a little bit farther back, but if you are in between those two warnings, that does not mean that you're safe either. That means you should still be weather aware. You should still be getting to your safe spot. You should still be paying attention to weather, because weather will be changing over the next couple of minutes as we track that system moving in the next couple of minutes to an hour.
So Megan, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go back to the radar scan, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this system in Perry County. And what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and look at some cities or some things here. I want to put a storm track on this because this is getting pretty darn close to Hazard. What I want to do is I want to look at the base or our wind tracker here. You can kind of see where we're seeing that wind. And it looks like if I was to put a track on the measuring tool here, so it looks like it would be, if we were to go northeast, it looks like it's about 10 miles from Hazard.
Now, I want to keep in mind, this is not the exact track that it will be taking, but that's just for reference of us here at studio, as well as for people in Hazard, just so you can know how close we are to it. It is going to more follow the track that he's drawing right now, going through Viper. Right.
So if you're in the Viper area, the area of rotation that we've been tracking now for the past couple hours is heading your direction. Does that mean that we're out of the woods for Hazard? Absolutely not. But would I say, Megan, that it's too close to comfort? I would say so. It's too close to comfort for Hazard with it being that close.
Yeah, and that's why we're tracking it so closely here to make sure that we're safe and all of our workers here are safe at WYMT. But right now we are seeing that it is going to track just south of it, but that's why we're keeping a close eye on it right now. And if we look at that track just north again, it's not in the direct path. However, we could see some impacts here from that system as we are already having those very elevated wind gusts across the region, 50+ mile-an-hour wind gusts for some locations. Looks like they did just put out their update for the system, and I think they're
doing a severe thunderstorm warning. Yes, they're going to do a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag.
Now, what I want to mention with this is they did see that that lessening of that system that I pointed out just a second ago. They do think it's losing some of that organization, but they are still keeping that tornado warning in place into that 1 o'clock hour. But they did extend it past for severe thunderstorms. So again, they're losing some of the organization of the rotation for that system, but will stay under that tornado warning until that 1 o'clock mark. They're going to let that expire. But as of right now, following behind it is that severe thunderstorm warning.
Right, I'm going to get the characteristics up on this new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see if I can call that up really quick. Let's see. Let me turn the flood one off real quick, and then we'll see if I can get the thunderstorm warning up. Anywho, what I can do real quick while it's up here, looks like severe thunderstorm warning, this is going to go in effect until 1:15, Megan. This is going to be 1:15. So this is the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Leslie County, northwestern Letcher County, southeastern Perry County, and southern Knott County. This goes into effect until 1:15. Now, from the National Weather Service office in Jackson, at 12:52, so literally just 2 minutes ago with this, severe thunderstorm was located over the Frew area or near Hazard. This is moving to the east at 40 miles per hour.
So it is slowing down a little bit.
It is slowing down a little bit.
I will point out, if you will move over a little bit, it looks like that second tornado warning, they also made that extension a severe thunderstorm. Yeah,
Yes.
that would be what it's appearing to happen for both systems, still under a tornado warning as we're traveling into portions of Leslie and Perry County, still under a tornado warning as you're traveling to portions of Clay County. But past that mark, they have decided to move to a severe thunderstorm warning because we're starting to lose that organization of that turning of the winds that we were looking at. And it also looks like they had another severe thunderstorm warning as we travel towards portions of Laurel as well.
Yeah, it looks like
this is a very
London,
long one for that system. So if we zoom out, it will go all the way down.
All the way down to Whitley City, all the way down to the Kentucky-Tennessee border, for that matter. So again, Laurel County, this is what, the third, fourth warning in the past hour. Now you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that severe thunderstorm warning, let's see if I can get some information up on this, will go into effect, let me see. Here we go. So it looks like that severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. You can see there's London, there's the East Bernstadt area. This will go until 1 a.m. it looks like. So 1 a.m. for that severe thunderstorm warning. And again, you can see London, Sublimity City, East Bernstadt, I-75. Pretty much, Megan, the main culprits that we've had impacted over the past several hours, being impacted again, but this time with the thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, I would be curious if you could see just how long this tornado has been moving, because at this point I think it has been at 3 hours, but
at least.
And
I mean, it's been consistent since at least Pulaski County, even beforehand.
Yeah, because I noticed it just outside of a region around 9:50 was the first time I kept my eye on it. I think a little bit earlier than that I did see that, but at this point it's starting to lose that structure. I mean, again, this exact system has been keeping itself going for the past couple of hours. And so it's no surprise that we're starting to see that loosen down. Can you go to velocity just so I can keep an eye on what
just a second. I'm actually going to do the storm track on this. I'm changing the speed on here because it has slowed down a little bit. So this is now moving at around 40. So we'll put the storm track on here. We'll put it on the heaviest band. And you're noticing, again, near the Defiance area at 105, Vico 108, Red Fox 118, Colson at 125, Lucastown at 130.
This is going to hit here.
134 will be the Dry Creek area. So again, if you're in these cities listed, this system is going to be heading your way. Now, again, this is going to stay. The heaviest part will be just to the south of Hazard. You can see right here on live pinpoint Doppler radar, the rotation is near the Viper area, that looks like. So again, if you're in the Hazard area, yes, we're still under that tornado warning with the observed tornado, but the rotation part of it is near the Viper area. And let me draw this out for you as to where this is, right here. So you can see that's where we're seeing that rotation being picked up. So again, take a look here now at the radar scan. And again, you can see that heavy rain pushing through. The heaviest part is to the south, again, of Hazard, near the Viper area, just to the north of the Daisy area. So again, there's your map view. Again, there's Hazard, there's Viper, there's Daisy. We'll go ahead and pinpoint in a little bit tighter, and we'll see if we can get some landmarks on here. And I'll have to reset real quick to see if I can get these on. And we'll put some city names and some street names on with this once this comes up. So again, south of Hazard, near the Viper area is what we're kind of focusing on. So it looks like if you're near the Upper River Road area, you are seeing that rotation being picked up right now, or the heaviest part of this as well. If you're near, looks like the Middle Fork of the Maces Creek Road area, looks like near the Big Creek Road area, the Browns Fork Road area, near the Glomar area. And again, south of Hazard, Hazard's seeing the heavy rain right now. In terms of hail, we'll take a look here at the latest hail detector, and again, we've been saying that the heaviest part of this is going to be just to the south of Hazard, and you can see right there where that hail core is, near the Viper, the Farler area, near the Wooten Road area. Currently seeing some hail right now, and you can kind of see the track. We'll put the track over the past hour as to what's going on with this. You can kind of see how it just kind of stays to the south of Hazard proper. And it looks like it's going to go near the Vico area.
Can you take a look at the warnings? I think they both expired.
Okay. Both tornado warnings?
Yes.
You would be correct. The 2 tornado warnings have expired. We still have the severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado possible tag. The first one includes the city of Hazard. This goes until 1:15, so for about another 15 minutes. The second one that has the tornado possible tag goes until 1:30, and that is for Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry. Again, both of these have the tornado possible tag, but they are basically what a tornado possible tag is for those who don't know. So a few years ago, National Weather Service started categorizing the thunderstorm warnings and the tornado warnings, which is why you've been hearing us say observed or destructive or considerable damage, because they now have different tags on here. Tornado possible means one is not confirmed yet, but the conditions are favorable, and we're kind of seeing some rotation that we have to keep a very close eye on these, because if we start seeing that tightening again, we may have to issue another tornado warning. Mm-hmm. That's literally what that means. So that's why it's severe thunderstorm warning, but it has what we call a tornado possible tag on here. So it's basically a higher tiered severe thunderstorm warning, if you will.
Yeah, and again, we'll keep on tracking that for the next couple of minutes, see how that changes. But again, right now we're just looking at that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. There is no active tornado warnings out right now. We're going to keep our eyes on it. Eric.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take a look here. We'll keep an eye on this. So there is a little bit of, if you will, good news to this. We don't have any, we have no tornado warnings right now in eastern Kentucky. We'll go ahead and take a look here at the map view with live pinpoint Doppler radar. We have no tornado warning, so there's a little bit of good news there. So here's the grand tour as to what is going on. Okay, so here's the entire WYMT coverage area from Moorhead to Louisa to Pikeville to Hazard to Jackson, London, Monticello. If you're watching us in any one of our many counties, you are seeing some rain right now, heavy rain, stretching from Louisa to Pikeville, down to Hazard, London, and Monticello. And then from Moorhead down to the Columbia area. So again, we're going to be monitoring this. Even though there are no tornado warnings possible, or no tornado warnings as of right now, we are going to stay on while we have the tornado possible tags. And the reason being is because the National Weather Service right now is again saying, well, there's nothing on the ground, but the conditions are still favorable for maybe some snow. Like, so there's something there, maybe some rotation, maybe something. So it won't take much for these two to fire back up into a tornado warning if, you know, should the characteristics match. Megan.
Speaking of conditions being favorable, I just want to go over the watches that we have in place. Tornado watch is still over all of the WYMT viewing area, with the exception of Dickinson and Buchanan County, Virginia. And we'll just zoom out just so you can see how expansive this active tornado watch is across the southeast.
Zoom back into our viewing area, please, because I think they might have just taken some.
They did just take out some just out to the west of us, but
it's just outside of our viewing area.
But it
Okay,
did
that's what I
not
wanted to
affect
make
our
sure.
viewing area.
So, and on top of that, not only do we have the tornado watch, but we have a flood watch in effect for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. This goes into effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, Megan, if you zoom out, you can take a look here. It's not just us. It's literally central and eastern Kentucky that is under the barrel of this one as well. So we've got a lot going on over the course of the next several hours. So even though this system may be expiring soon, we still have all that shower and thunderstorm activity behind it. Let's go back over to live pinpoint Doppler radar real quick.
I was going to pull out the flood all hazards just so they could see where we have certain.
So we have a flood advised right here for Rowan County, right here. The dark green highlight, you can kind of see it right here. So it goes from Letcher to Leslie to Clay to Laurel to Pulaski, back up to Rock Castle, back through Wolf, Magoffin, Martin County. You see this little area highlighted in this faint dark green. That is a flash flood warning that will go into effect. That is in effect until 4:15 this evening. So there it is right there, that flash flood warning right there for the counties in this dark green. It's actually until 4:30. It was 4:15. Now it's 4:30. So we've got a lot of alerts going on. Again, make sure you keep it tuned here over the next several minutes to WYMT, WYMT.com, as well as our social media outlets as well. So this right here is the flood advisory that is in effect. Literally, I guess we can say, Megan, Hal Rogers Parkway north.
Yeah, it seems like that line that we're
cutoff.
seeing, and to the south of that, that's where we're seeing that flood warning. So to the south of Hal Rogers, you have that flood warning. To the north of the Hal Rogers Parkway, that's when you see that flood advisory.
Correct.
And everyone, for the most part, is under that flood watch.
Yeah. So again, quick recap, that tornado watch is still in effect until 3 a.m. We have the, let's go to live pinpoint Doppler radar real quick, please, because I want to look at those severe thunderstorm warnings again, and we'll kind of give everybody the grand tour with these. And again, you can see live pinpoint Doppler radar. It is lit up like a Christmas tree, folks. Like if you're watching in Rowan County, if you're watching in Campbell County, if you're watching in Pike County, if you're watching in Wayne County, Kentucky, you're seeing heavy rain at this hour. Current time is now 1:06. We do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado possible tag on here. We'll go ahead and pinpoint the one that's going to impact portions of Perry County. There you go. So this is for Knott, Leslie, Letcher, and Perry County until 1:15. This has a tornado possible tag on it. 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. We are seeing quarter-sized hail being picked up with this system. Megan, if we can look at the wind tracker on this, I want to look and see if we're still seeing any type of rotation, because this is the one that's been concerning for the past
several hours.
We're seeing a little bit now just to the east of the Viper area.
But there is no organization.
There's no organized rotation with this system. So we are finally kinda, sorta able to breathe just a little bit, because this is the one that did produce the confirmed tornado and stuff near the Somerset area. So this is the first one. The second one is just to the west. We'll go ahead and put this one over here. And this second one goes until 1:30. This has a tornado possible tag on it. This is for Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry County. Again, this goes until 1:30 in the morning. So the bottom line, if you're in those two, make sure you are being weather aware. Make sure you're keeping it tuned here. Again, it is our promise that we are going to make sure that you guys stay safe as these systems go through. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Steve Hensley. Steve has some information to pass along.
Eric, thank you. Just want to bring you up to date on a few things we've been trying to compile in the newsroom. First, we want to show you some brand new video we just received. This is out of Laurel County, showing some damage. We are told this is in the Sunshine Hills neighborhood of London. This was posted by the Laurel County Fiscal Court on their Facebook page. Obviously some major damage in that neighborhood, and we're hearing about major damage so far in both Laurel and parts of Pulaski counties. Of course, we've been telling you for a while now that the parts of Somerset was hit very hard by what has to be a tornado, I would think. I can tell you, I've seen pictures on Facebook of a church damaged, several businesses and several homes damaged. It appears to be concentrated near South Highway 27, southern part of Somerset, near stoplight 22. But obviously there's some major damage. That video is there in Laurel County, but also major damage reported in parts of Somerset. Also, Trooper Scotty Pennington, the State Police Post 11 in London, just posted on Facebook that they are currently experiencing a high volume of activity tonight. They are doing their best to provide assistance to everyone in need, but they're asking if you require assistance in the London State Police Post area, which does include Pulaski County, to please call 911 or reach out to Post 11 London at 606-878-6623 or 6622. They say please reserve calls for emergency situations only. And again, their dispatchers working diligently. Obviously, they're overloaded tonight with calls about this weather. Also, the Somerset Fire Department posted a short time ago urging people to stay out of the area that's been damaged by this apparent tornado. They said, quote, "This is not the time to come out and sightsee. The extra traffic is causing our rescue units problems." I do want to mention, too, there have been all kinds of reports that this has been declared a mass casualty event in Pulaski County. We have not independently confirmed that, but what I can tell you is that there are no confirmed fatalities so far. We have heard no official confirmation of any fatalities in any county due to this apparent tornadoes. But as someone who was here during the March 2nd, the 2012 tornado outbreak that caused so much devastation, it was hours before we confirmed all the fatalities. And we hope that's not the case this time. But again, it's dark, and the rescue efforts are ongoing. I want to repeat those numbers I said earlier. If you have an emergency in the Post 11 London area, please call 606-878-6623 or 606-878-6622. But again, State Police, there you see those numbers on your screen. But again, State Police in the London Post area are asking that you reserve calls for emergency situations only. Obviously, they're being overwhelmed, I would assume right now, with calls from people reporting damage or so forth. Again, we do have confirmed major damage in parts of London and Somerset tonight. Earlier we showed you some pretty dramatic video, and I don't know if we can pull that up, Joe, that video from Somerset that we showed you earlier. We're getting that queued up. I wanted to show that again because it's apparent that a tornado definitely, it appears to me, was on the ground in Somerset, and it appears from the damage that we've seen, and that is the case. Here is that video. Of course it's dark, but now when the lightning lights up, clearly, very honestly, a scary video of the tornado there you can see in the distance, and it appears to maybe have a power flash there where it may have hit a power lines or a substation or something. I can also tell you the power outage numbers just keep going up across the state. At last check, there were 170,000 customers across the state without power. Now, a lot of that is in Western Kentucky because these storms have literally gone from one end of the state to the other. And the numbers are increasing with power outages in eastern Kentucky. Earlier in the night, it was western Kentucky that had the majority of power outages, but those are certainly going up here in eastern Kentucky as well. And at last check, it's just kept going up dramatically throughout the night. 170,000 customers across the state without power. But the bottom line, the news of the hour is that apparent tornadoes have hit at least in Pulaski and Laurel counties tonight. There are no confirmed reports of fatalities or injuries. Obviously, rescue efforts are ongoing, but there is a major damage reported in both Somerset and parts of Laurel County tonight. We are getting a very heavy storm right now over us, and you might even be able to hear it over my microphone. The rain is coming down heavily here at the station. And Eric, are you ready to update us on the situation?
Yes, I am. Megan, if we can call up our live computer feed here. We just received word from Phil Pendleton. He says, just got to Somerset. He's at light 19. He says, I am told most of the damage is around light 22 because of so many power lines down. This is as close as I can get. So again, that is from Phil Pendleton. And he said he just got to Somerset. He's at light 19, and he's told most of the damage is around light 22. And let's see if we can pull up some of the pictures from there. You can see where they've got a lot of roads blocked off here. There's some of the video from Phil right there. You can see it looks like the crews are going out and taking care of some of the power outages. And then we have, again,
I also want to add, this does say on our graphic that it's downtown Hazard. That is
That's
incorrect.
Not the case.
This is just the live feed to our computer right now of Phil Pendleton's Facebook post in Somerset.
Right. So again, this is what he is seeing down there in Somerset. Again, he says there's so many power lines down that this is as close as he can get. So all right, let's go back over to live pinpoint Doppler radar.
And I do have some good news.
Okay.
The only warning that we're looking now at for our region is this severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry counties. It is not tornado possible tagged, and the one that was tornado possible tag as you traveled to portions of Perry County, Knott County, Letcher County, that was tornado possible, has since expired. So right now we are only looking at the one severe thunderstorm warning with no tornado possible tag, as we are inching closer into portions of Clay, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry County. That is set to expire at 1:30. Again, it is not tornado possible tagged.
So there's some good news there. So that does give an indication that these cells are, starting to weaken. So there's a really good news in that aspect. Let's go out. Let's take a look here at the home view of live pinpoint Doppler radar. We'll go ahead and give kind of the grand tour. So here's that line of shower and thunderstorm activity.
There's that round two.
Yeah, so from Pikeville to Hazard, just south of London, but along I-75, going into portions of Whitley County, and then south of Monticello. So we're going to keep an eye on this system here that's in Columbia right now. No warnings are impacted. Can we take a look? Can you zoom out and take a look here at the big picture and kind of see what's behind this? So it looks like it appears once this system right here, once this round pushes through, we're going to be done. So there's a little bit of good news there. So let's go ahead and turn on the watches and warnings where it pops up the information automatically. And we'll go ahead and pinpoint again over towards the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect again for Clay, Leslie, Owsley, and Perry County. This is south of the Buckhorn area. This includes the Manchester and Seaver area, just to the east of the Burning Springs area. This does not include the city of Hazard. So Hazard right now, there's some good news there, but it would not surprise me if this did push its way into portions of Perry County to include the city of Hazard. It looks like about, 18,000 people are impacted with this. This is 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-size hail. So this is just a base severe thunderstorm warning. What I mean by a base severe thunderstorm warning is, again, a few years ago they started categorizing all the thunderstorm warnings. That's why you've seen some that said considerable damage, why you've seen some that said destructive, why you've seen some that had observed, because now the National Weather Service categorizes them. So a base severe thunderstorm warning is, I wouldn't say it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's the low end of severe thunderstorm warnings, if you will. Go ahead.
I was just looking at velocity. I know we're not warned for severe thunderstorms as we travel a little bit more towards the east, but I do want to just point out that we're looking at this, but for the most part, it does look still like the characteristics for a tornado warning does include a lot more than just rotation. So I have my eye on that, but nothing is warned at this moment. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning we were watching just a second ago did expire. So right now we're, again, still just looking at that first one at this moment.
And as we mentioned earlier, Megan, so as we go into the overnight hours, it's 1:19 in the morning. As we go throughout the overnight hours, we do lose that instability. This is, instead of becoming a severe weather event, this is becoming more of like a wind and rain event. And as we mentioned, even during Mountain News at 6, that's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to shift more into a heavy rain event. So rain chances will continue as we go throughout the next several hours, exiting completely out of here by about the 6 and 7 o'clock time frame. But right now, all eyes are on the next few minutes as that severe thunderstorm warning continues. Current time is now just almost 1:20. Actually, it is 1:20 now. So we got another 10 minutes on this. Megan, we have, let's see if this is a new severe thunderstorm warning.
I think it's for the one that, oh no, this is
this is a new one. This is for Campbell and Claiborne County. So Campbell, Claiborne County, severe thunderstorm warning. This goes into effect until 1:45 in the morning. Again, just 60-mile-an-hour wind and the quarter-size hail being impacted. So again, to kind of do a quick recap on everything, severe thunderstorm warnings with the tornado possible tags have either A, expired, or B, have been changed to a regular severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warnings that had the observed and the considerable damage tag on it, both have expired. So we do have a lot of good news on that end, but you can see here on live pinpoint Doppler radar, you can see from Pikeville to Hazard, south of London, going into Campbell, Claiborne County, going into portions of Whitley, McCreary County, and then another round pushing its way into portions of Monticello, are some things that we're going to be keeping an eye on as we go into the next few minutes and the next hour or two. Steve Hensley has some more information. Steve, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Eric, some new information now coming out of Laurel County, our first confirmation of injuries from Laurel County. This is from the Laurel County Fiscal Court. While we're showing you this video of the Sunshine Hills area, we can tell you now that Kentucky 363 is closed while the injured are evacuated and homes are searched. Again, this was just posted on the Laurel County Fiscal Court Facebook page. They also report other areas hit by what they are calling a tornado include the London Corbin Airport, and I have seen a picture floating around on Facebook of a helicopter just destroyed. So it appears the airport, the London Corbin Airport, which we show a camera from there all the time on our newscast, and I think it's went offline, but the London Corbin Airport was apparently hit. Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park and the Oaks of London subdivision. All of those areas reportedly have damage tonight, in addition to this area, which is the Sunshine Hills area. But again, the breaking news is now we have our first confirmed reports of multiple injuries in the London area. As we've been telling you all night too, Somerset, parts of Somerset were hit particularly hard by an apparent tornado tonight. There are no confirmed fatalities out of either county, but now we do have reports of multiple injuries. And again, to repeat, Kentucky 363 is closed while the injured are being evacuated and homes are searched. Rescue operations ongoing, I would assume, in both Laurel and Pulaski counties, where we have seen video and pictures of pretty significant damage to both homes and businesses, even a church in Somerset. So that's the latest. We'll continue to follow it. Let's go back to Eric now.
All right, so quick recap, and I'm going to toss it over to meteorologist Megan Dusmal, because we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. So Megan, go ahead, and I will pinpoint this and let you give the latest information.
So just a little bit ago, before Steve gave that update, we were watching just a little bit of what could be rotation as we were traveling just to the east of Perry County. That has since been put under a severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag, as we're keeping an eye on that little rotation that we were looking at, seeing if those components do come together. We could see that potentially upgraded. That's why we're keeping our eye on this system. Now it's for Knott, Letcher, and Pike counties as we're going into the next couple of minutes, set to expire at 1:45 in the morning. Now we'll go ahead and switch over to that velocity just so you can see what we're talking about with that slight rotation right now that we're looking at, seeing if that does get upgraded as we go through the next couple of minutes. But as of right now, it is just a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag set to expire at 1:45. So that's about 20 minutes from now as we're going through the next couple minutes and heading into the next 20 minutes, excuse me. And then you can see right there, that is that Virginia border right now, just staying in our Kentucky counties as we're tracking this severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag on it.
All right, so this is moving to the east at around 40 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put where the rotation is. I'm going to put a storm track on this. And again, this is moving east at 40 miles per hour. So if we put the storm track and kind of follow the polygon there, it looks like Neon at 134, McRoberts at 138, Jenkins at 141. It looks like the Dorton area at 147, Freeling 153. Looks like they just extended that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag.
It's because that's two different
well.
National Weather Service.
You're right.
National Weather Service offices. They're just connecting that together.
So then it looks like the Ash Camp area at 158, Tandy at the top of the hour. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the second half of this severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on here. And we'll get the characteristics on. All right, so let's go ahead and pinpoint into this one. We'll get the second half of this. And like Megan said, this is two different National Weather Service offices. So this one is going to go until 2:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So this is going to go until 2:30 a.m. This does have a tornado possible tag on it. This is Doppler radar indicated. It looks like just under 1,100 people are being impacted with it. Go ahead.
Now, I just want to mention again, two National Weather Services offices. That's why it's split up differently. And the reason why this one is extended longer than the other one is because it has a lot more to travel until it even gets to the beginning of that warning, because it is still in Kentucky and it will travel into the region. Now, if we zoom out just a little bit to give people a perspective of where we are, again, we're close to that Letcher County area next to that Kentucky and Virginia border, just so you can get a bigger picture. And again, you can treat this as one warning, not two, again, because it's split between those two National Weather Service offices. But we're going to continue to see that track as we're going through the next couple minutes. And as he's showed with that storm track, it will be getting towards that Kentucky-Virginia border in the next couple minutes. And again, this is still that slow-moving system that we've been watching with, I mean, last time we checked, 40 miles per hour is how fast it was moving. And earlier it was at 45, so it was kind of downgrading. Are we still moving around 45 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour, or are we starting to slow down a little bit or speed up?
Let's see what Morristown has to say with that, because the initial one was 40 miles per hour. So let's see if Morristown if they are going with it as well.
Okay, they're going with 40?
Let's see. They are going with 45.
Okay.
So between 40 and 45 is how fast this system's moving, depending on location.
It looks like we also got severe thunderstorm warning another severe thunderstorm warning for Campbell County and Claiborne County, Tennessee.
So according to this one, this is a correction until 1:45. And we'll go ahead and pull up the characteristics on this one as well while we're at it. So this one has the big thing, the reason why there was a correction on this one is they did throw a considerable damage tag on here. We've been talking about this for a while, how we have different categories now for severe thunderstorm warnings. So base severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-size hail. Considerable damage tag, that's when you up the wind to 70 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. So that's the big difference between a base severe thunderstorm warning and a considerable. And then if you go, which we haven't seen, knock on wood, if you see the destructive tag on there, that's when you start seeing those winds 80 miles per hour and higher. So we haven't seen any of those tonight, but just to kind of give you an indication as to what those categories mean when we say it's a base, it's a considerable, it's a destructive.
Yeah, and so that's why we're tracking still these storms, because we do see those incredibly fast wind gusts. I know when we're forecasting, there was chances of up to 74 mile per hour or greater wind gusts, and we're starting to see that verify. I mean, 70-mile wind gusts right now with this severe thunderstorm, and we're going to continue to watch that move across the region. Yes, Eric.
You kind of put things in perspective too. Category 1 hurricane is 74 miles per hour. So we're not too far behind what the winds would be for Cat 1 hurricane status. So
yeah, these are very...
That's to put it into perspective as to how fast these winds are.
So why we're pointing this out is even though this is not a tornado warning, this is just that severe thunderstorm warning. With that considerable tag, we're going to see damage with these wind gusts. These are very fast, elevated wind gusts that will blow items across the region. That's why we're wanting to make sure you're aware, because even though there isn't an active tornado warning, we want you to still stay inside your house, still stay away from the outdoors, because any items outside could be blown by these very fast wind gusts. And again, we're seeing 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this system right here. I think it's about the same as we travel a little bit more north, but I think it's a little bit less for our Letcher County severe thunderstorm warning. I think they were at that 60-mile-per-hour. But even then, that's incredibly fast wind gust, and that's why we're monitoring it so carefully, especially since we still have that tornado possible tag on this system. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust with this severe thunderstorm warning. Can we look at the wind and see how that's moving?
Yeah, we can do that too. While I'm pulling that up, one thing I want to focus on too, because this is another common misconception as well. It's like, oh, well, it's not a tornado, it's just a wind gust, or it's just this. Straight line winds, a lot of times, can be worse in damage than an actual tornado. You're just not getting the rotation, but you're just getting the wind that's pushing through. So make no mistake about this, straight line winds are just as bad, if not worse. And that's why that considerable damage tag for Campbell and Claiborne County, it is imperative that you pay attention to that tag. Because no matter how you slice and dice it, it's not good.
Yeah. It's still those incredibly fast wind gusts. So again, even though it is not a tornado warning, it is a severe thunderstorm warning with that considerable damage, you need to be inside for where we're seeing those severe thunderstorms, because those very fast wind gusts could still impact and harm you if anything does get hurled your way. That's why it's imperative to stay inside, still staying as close to the center portion of the home and away from windows as we're going through the next couple hours. And again, we're tracking the system right here. That's that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. Again, not a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag. And you can see that system has traveled where it was south of Colson, and now it's moved towards that Jenkins area, where we're seeing that slight look of some rotation. That's why we have that tornado possible tag, because we're monitoring that, seeing if that does strengthen up. But again, right now we're not seeing too much organization with it, which is why we have not been upgraded, just looking at that severe thunderstorm warning with that tag possible.
All right, so one thing to know, and Megan, we mentioned this earlier, what you've noticed over the past couple of hours is you get these storms that'll move like 35, 40 miles per hour. They slow down. Then they pick up energy. And it's the analogy like I used of like you're trying to run a race.
Yeah.
You're running and then you run out of energy. You got to stop for a minute. You got to regain your energy. And then you run fast, really hard again. And then you slow down. These storms are doing the same thing. They're going really fast. They're utilizing all of its energy. They slow down for a little bit, which is why we see those winds, the speeds sometimes go from 50 to 35 miles per hour. They slow down, they regain their energy, and then they pick up and then they start going really fast again, and then they just keep doing that cycle. And we've noticed this time and time again with these systems, particularly this one, because it's been tracking since over towards Pulaski County. This is the same system that's been doing that. So notice how it's been speeding up and slowing down. And that's why the tornado possible tag on this is kind of concerning. Now, one thing to note, Megan, looks like they dropped the tornado possible tag on this system.
It looks like, did they?
It looks like they did.
For this one, but did they drop it for this one?
They didn't drop it for the second one, but they dropped it for the first one.
Okay, so it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag is just for our Virginia counties, and our Kentucky County severe thunderstorm warning has been downgraded to just a severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado possible tag, and that is because it's right on that line and it's moving out and it's starting to lose that structure. I'm curious to see if the Morristown office will also be dropping this tag for the Virginia severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah, typically when you get these two offices together, typically if one changes, the other one's not too far behind. So it would not surprise me if that tornado possible tag got dropped as well. So I'm keeping an eye on the Morristown feed over here to see what they do. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this one. But again, like we just said, the tornado possible tag has been dropped if you are in Knott, Letcher, and Pike County. It is still in effect if you're over in Wise County. The tornado possible tag is still in effect. Now, of course, Wise County, including the city of Norton, we had the tornado warning earlier this afternoon that pushed through. So this is, getting ready to impact you again. So something we're going to monitor very close here. I don't see anything on the chat that's indicating right now that they're going to switch that to remove the tornado possible tag.
I think they're waiting to see how it moves across that border, if I had to guess.
And I would agree with that decision as well, if that's what they're doing. Let's take a look here, because I know we're getting some information here on the tornado watch. So the good news about this tornado watch is look how much real estate has been chipped away from this. So there's some good news there. We're still in it. We're still in it until 3 a.m. But literally almost every county to the west of us is now out of it. And Megan, I'd say probably, if I was to guess, I'd say probably for the next hour, I think we'll start seeing some of our counties kind of chipping away as well.
Yeah, I could expect that too, especially since we're starting to see that last round of rain clearing up for our northwestern counties. I mean, northern part of Rowan County already starting to lighten up, just looking at the lighter rain taking over, light to moderate rain, the heavier rain just south of that, and that system will continue to travel to the east. So we'll continue on that track for all of our western counties. Already portions of Powell County seeing the heavier rain starting to light up. So the main thing with this line right here is still chances for severe weather, but this line, that last line that we're seeing, the main impact that we will see for eastern Kentucky and as well as our West Virginia, and Tennessee counties will be that flood impact, as we still will see heavy rainfall as that system continues to track out of the region. Now, is this, I see it's slightly orange, is that the considerable tag, or is that?
That's the tornado possible tag.
For the Tennessee counties?
Let's see. No, that's just the regular thunderstorm.
Okay, cool. It looked like the same shade, so I was just checking to make
no,
sure.
that's the considerable damage tag.
So here is the overview. The 2 thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing right now as you travel towards our Tennessee counties, that is a considerable damage tag because we're seeing that 70-mile-per-hour wind gust with hail about an inch as that system rolls through. Now is supposed to expire in roughly 10 minutes at 1:45, and then as we travel towards Letcher County, we had that severe thunderstorm that had that tornado possible tag, but has since been taken off. Right now, just looking at a severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, still seeing that inch of hail possible. And then the one for our Virginia County, that is that severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag still attached to it, if you'll move to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, still under that tornado possible, still seeing that 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and the inch size of hail. So we'll just continue to track that system. You can see it's right on that Kentucky-Virginia border, and it looks like they just extended it. Let's see what their new guidance is for that severe thunderstorm. So it looks like they're going to let this one expire, and it's going to continue into this one right here. It is not tornado possible. It's just a severe thunderstorm warning. With 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and still looking at that inch of hail possible with that system. What is that smaller warning set to expire, the one right behind it?
The one right behind it is set to expire at 2:30.
And the one ahead of it?
The one ahead of this one?
No,
the other one is 2:15.
2:15, okay. So we'll see what they do with that first one. I'm sure because that timing, that might be an error since the extension ends sooner, but we'll see what they decide on that one with the Morristown office. Any word in the chat?
Well, giving you a heads up, from Morristown, there is a new severe thunderstorm warning again for Campbell and Claiborne County. You can see it highlighted here. Let me see if I can pull this up. There we go. This goes into effect until 2:30 in the morning. This is a base thunderstorm, 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-sized hail. So. And
that is just north of Knoxville. It does not go south into Knoxville, but it does have portions of I-75 through our Campbell County. So La Follette is part of that new severe thunderstorm warning that we're watching.
Correct. Megan, if you want to go ahead, I'm going to continue on this one. I'm going to reach out to Morristown real quick and see
what their thought process
what their
is on
thoughts
that one?
are for that one with the tornado possible tag.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and see what's going on there.
I'll go ahead and let you drive. While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and give another just complete overview of the region so you can kind of see that level, that round 2 that we're talking about. It's right there. We're still seeing that move across, and that's still extending from Tennessee counties all the way up into our West Virginia counties, and then that round 3 behind it, which is mostly going to be that heavy rainfall towards our western edge. And we got another severe thunderstorm warning, and this is for Claiborne, Hancock, Hawkins, Lee, Scott, and Wise. So the counties for us that impacts is Lee and Wise, Virginia, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning. Just a normal severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado tag with that one. So we're still tracking these 4 warnings right here as we travel just a little bit more towards north, and then our Tennessee warnings. But for the most part, all of those are coming from that round 2, and then that round 3 right behind it that I'm circling right now still has been quiet.
Yeah.
It's been a rain producer though, so we're still tracking those flood chances with that, but for the most part, that round right now has been quiet.
Right. And as we mentioned earlier, Megan, you're going to notice this is going to go from being a severe event to being kind of like a wind hail event to now being just more of a heavy rain event.
Yeah.
One thing to note, and you can't see this on screen, but we are getting a report of Harlan right now picking up a 39-mile-an-hour wind gust.
Yeah.
So the wind is still out there regardless. I just messaged the National Weather Service in Morristown regarding the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it to kind of see what their thinking is, since the severe thunderstorm warning that was north of that, around Pike and Letcher County, just has a regular tag. And then the one in the one to the east of it has a tag on it as well. So let's go back to that storm real quick, and that way I can kind of get my bearings straight on here. So yeah, let's go ahead and pinpoint into that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag.
It's just this very small one that's set to expire. There's been a reply.
We got a reply back on this, so let's see what they say here.
They said
they're going to go with a regular severe thunderstorm
warning. So it will be
so
downgraded.
So yeah, so once that gets downgraded, we're going to keep an eye on this for the next few minutes. This will eventually get downgraded. We'll wait for that to change. And then once this changes, Megan, then we'll go into the future view and just kind of time everything out and then give kind of the grand tour as to what's going on. So that right there is going to be the update.
And
it looks like.
So now we are looking at only severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado tags in our region, and we have a number of them. So Eric's can go ahead and point them out, starting off with our Tennessee counties, Claiborne and Campbell. We have 2. And then as we travel into Virginia, Lee and Wise has 1, and then still looking at the one a little bit more towards the north for portions of Letcher County and Pike County. Looks like that's a flood.
That's the flood warning.
Yeah. So we're still looking at portions of Letcher and Pike with that one.
So it looks like the one that was for Letcher, Pike County has now expired, so now we just have these 2 down here. Megan, if we can go ahead and move the map, I want to go ahead and start giving the times and stuff for Campbell, Claiborne County. We'll go through all the thunderstorm warnings. Okay, so we have the first one for Campbell and Claiborne. This goes into effect until 2:30 in the morning. Again, this is a base severe thunderstorm warning or 60-mile-an-hour wind, quarter-size hail. We'll go ahead and move the map over a little bit. We'll take a look here at the other one that's in effect until 2:45 for Claiborne County. And Lee County, Virginia, I should say, as well as Wise County. This does include the city of Norton. Again, we are seeing 60-mile-an-hour wind, and it looks like quarter-size hail with this one as well. And then we'll go ahead and move up and take a look here. Go ahead and move the map just a little bit more. There we go. The severe thunderstorm warning for Buchanan and Dickinson County goes until 2:15, and then the severe thunderstorm warning that just got changed over to a base severe thunderstorm warning for Wise County is now effective until 2:30 in the morning. Megan, let's go ahead and zoom out and take a look here at the home view, and we'll go ahead and start giving some all clears. If basically you can draw the line from Moorhead to about, I would say, northwest of London, around the Danville area. If you're in this line right here, you are in the all clear. You are able to finally relax for a bit as Megan draws the line. So there's your line right there. Pretty much everybody north and west of that line near the Lexington area is in the all clear. Everybody else is still seeing some heavy rain, thunderstorms. The good news, Megan, do me a favor, take the telestrator, and where my hand is, draw a line from here through Pikeville, through Hazard, right there. Anything south of this line is where we're still seeing that heavy lightning. If you notice north of this line right here, maybe a few little lightning strikes, but it's just some heavy rain. So again, we are finally starting to calm down. So again, if you're in Pikeville, Hazard, all the way down to Whitley County, for the most part, you're in the all clear. You may hear some rumbles of thunder. You may see some heavy rain, but the heaviest band right now, Megan, is looks like from Pikeville down to Harlan, down to Middlesboro. So again, if you're south of the moving arrows, we're still, keeping an eye on some stuff going on. If you're north of Hazard, near Jackson, Louisa, again, maybe a few little flickers of lightning, maybe some heavy rain, but all in all, the heaviest part is past your area.
Yeah, and so now we're just looking again at those severe thunderstorm warnings, just base severe thunderstorm warnings, all 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and 1-inch size hail possible, and of course, a lot of lightning across the region. So we're going to go ahead and give you a timeline of what the remainder of the night, or I guess early Saturday, will look like as that system continues to push its way through. Now, again, that leading edge is finally exiting our region right now, and it's not picking up on all the rain that we're seeing, so keep that in mind. There's still that heavy rain chance as you push a little bit more for our western counties, but as we go into the next couple hours, by the time we head into about 5 a.m., we should be entirely clear. I mean, we could still see some rain chances as we travel more towards our Virginia counties, but for the most part, we're going to lead into a much calmer weekend. There's the good news there. I mean, the remainder of your Saturday, drying out, even seeing a break in the clouds at some points, and as we head into Sunday, just some slight chances of rain for our southern counties since last time I forecasted, but it looks like it is drying out actually for your Sunday as well.
That's right. And so again, after this, we're going to clear out for the weekend, and then our eyes, Megan, are going to focus on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where we already have first alert weather days declared for those 3 days. But of course, we're going to take this one system at a time. We got to get past this one first before we can focus on that next one. But the bottom line, as we go into the next several minutes, even next couple hours, we'll see that line of shower and thunderstorm activity continue to push through. As of right now, it is a rain event. The tornado watch is still in effect for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. This goes into effect until 3 o'clock in the morning. The only exception to this is Dickinson and Buchanan County. Everybody else is still shaded in red. And that's when that tornado watch will expire again at 3 a.m. Now, on top of that, we have a flood watch in effect until 4 a.m. for the majority of the viewing area. The counties highlighted in green. The only exceptions to this, if you're in Wise, Lee County in Virginia, Campbell, Claiborne, as well as Rowan County. Everybody else, though, is under that flood watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. And Megan, as we mentioned earlier, we've had some substantial damage reports. We've had, an injury reported. We've had some reports of some localized flooding on some of the streets. So again, as we go throughout the next several hours, again, just kind of please take it safe, and we'll get through, the next several hours together.
And still try to avoid those roadways because we do have emergency managers, firefighters, police officers on those roads trying to go to all these damage points, and it's very difficult to do that when there's more people on the road. So just be aware of that. If travel is unavoidable, be aware of people on the side of the road. Be aware of people trying to fix or work out or help alongside this situation.
Let's look up the storm reports over the past, let's do the past 3 hours. And I kind of want to get an idea just kind of as to what we've seen. It will take maybe a little bit of a minute or a few seconds to load up. But I want to look and see what we've had just in eastern Kentucky alone. If we can get those called up real quick. I tell you what, we'll get those called up. Steve, you have some new information, correct?
Yeah, I want to just reiterate a couple of things. I just talked to our Phil Pendleton, who is on the ground in Somerset. He still can't get to where the worst damage is. They're keeping him away. And he basically says first responders are just too busy to even talk to him right now. But he has been told, unlike what's been floating around social media tonight, he says this is not a mass casualty event, and that's what has been reported all across social media tonight. He does say he's been told there are a number of injuries in the Somerset area, but that it is not a mass casualty event. And to reiterate something I said earlier, there are no confirmed fatalities in either Pulaski or Laurel counties at this point, and we hope and pray it stays that way. But again, a number of injuries have been reported in both counties, significant damage in both counties, and Phil says it is black dark there. The power is out everywhere, And he simply cannot get to the scene there, but he says the worst of the damage appears to be north of the Burnside area, and as we've been reporting all night, South Somerset. And I believe he told me he was parked at the Somerset Mall right now, and that's about as close as he could get to the area there along South Highway 27. But we can tell you from the video and pictures that we've seen, there's a church damaged, a number of businesses and homes damaged, and we are also hearing about a number of places that suffered significant damage in Laurel County. We just posted on our website moments ago that the State Police Post in London is asking for chainsaws. They don't have enough. If you have a chainsaw and you want to bring it to the London State Police Post, they'll gladly accept it and put it to use. I think that gives you, I'm not sure I've ever heard of that before, a state police post pleading for chainsaws. So that gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. We're going to see a lot of destruction when the sun comes up in the morning in parts of Laurel and Pulaski counties, I'm afraid. Hopefully there wasn't much damage in other counties, but I know I've lost count how many tornado warnings we had tonight, Eric.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of them, Steve. And one thing to note, too, this is the storm report map over the past 6 hours. Now, this is not all of them. Let me be very clear. This is not all of them, but this is what the National Weather Service offices have as of right now. I expect this to be a little bit more full over the next few hours, but you can see these little areas right here shaded in green. Across portions of Mingo, Logan County, we've had some wind damage picked up, trees down on power lines blocking both lanes on the highway. This is near Bowtie Lane in the Williamson or Chattaroy area. We'll go ahead and pinpoint over towards the Del Barton area. Friday, 11:42, the tree blocking entire road in Elk Creek. Traffic cannot get by. The time was estimated by radar, so that was 11:42 in the morning. Megan, let's go ahead and pinpoint this one down here in our Tennessee counties. Wind damage, high wind with trees down. So we're getting the general consensus that we've had trees down, we've had power lines down, we've had, as Steve said, in Laurel County, we've had the injuries being reported there. We've had, again, the Kentucky State Police Post asking for chainsaws. Megan, if we can go back, give me about 2 seconds. I want to pull up our power outage map real quick, and I want to see exactly what's going on in terms of power outages. If you want to go back to live pinpoint Doppler radar real quick and go over that while I get that called up, and then we'll go over it in a second.
As he said, we'll just go ahead and give another overview of live pinpoint Doppler radar while he's pulling that up, just to show you some of those power outages. But we're just looking at some severe thunderstorm warnings just for that second round that came through. Right now, that third round right behind it is still staying calm, just being heavy rain chances, severe thunderstorm warning. As you travel into our Virginia counties right now, we have one for Wise expiring at 2:30. And then the one right in front of it, that's expiring at 2:15 for Buchanan and Dickinson. And then we're looking at Lee, Wise, and Claiborne in this thunderstorm warning, expiring at 2:45. And then the remaining one that we're looking at in our area is Campbell and Claiborne, expiring at 2:30.
All right, if we can go into our live feed there's the power outage map. If you can, you may have to switch the modes on that. There we go.
Again, it's going to have that bug on the top saying downtown hazard. Ignore that.
All right, so we have Letcher County. Now, these are customers without power, not so much people, but customers. Letcher County, we're sitting at 1,773 customers currently without power. We'll take a look here at some other places. Breathitt County, looks like we're at 593 customers without power. Breathitt County, so 539. Wolfe County, 644. Magoffin County, 1,507 customers without power. Johnson County, 3,311 customers without power. So we are getting a lot of power outages being picked up. Martin County, just over 1,000 customers. Lawrence County, 275. You go over towards Perry County. Perry County is at 356 customers without power. And the list just keeps going. You go to Laurel County, 1,904. Pulaski County, 5,900, almost 6,000 customers currently without power. So almost every county in the WYMT coverage area is now reporting power outages.
Yeah, so at this point, we're just going to continue to watch those last rounds of rain moving through, but we're just looking at severe thunderstorm warnings. No tornado possibles are in our region anymore. We're just waiting for the remaining severe thunderstorms to conclude. But as you can see, still seeing tons of lightning activity out there. 442 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes, and that number keeps on fluctuating. So,
and again, this is something that we're going to continue to monitor over the next, several minutes. The good news is no tornado warnings, no observed tornado warnings, thank goodness. No tornado possible tags. We just have the base severe thunderstorm warnings on the map, as well as the flood watch, as well as the flash flood watch. Let's go ahead and see what this is real quick. Okay, so this is for Buchanan and Dickinson. This is a severe thunderstorm warning.
Just another base update.
Another base update, 60-mile-an-hour wind and quarter-sized hail. So again, pretty much I'm going to draw this line real quick. And pretty much if you are north of this line, so if you're Pikeville, let's go through Hazard and draw it through Monticello. If you're north of that line, maybe a little bit of lightning, maybe a little bit of heavy rain. But the heaviest part is to the south and the southeast of you. So this system is finally starting to go from a, this is going from a severe event to now more of a heavy rain event. So,
with that being said, we'll continue to track it off air if anything changes. Oh. We will be staying actually on air for the next little bit. We'll continue to track this. We have some more updates, so we will keep ourselves on air just so we can give you more information on the systems that have already pushed through the region, and we'll continue just tracking these severe thunderstorms right now as we're going through the next couple of minutes. I mean, overall, like Eric said, we're really just tracking those chances for severe thunderstorms with those active warnings we have right now. Most of them are set to expire around 2:30. We have some expiring a little bit earlier, some expiring a little bit later. So we're just going to continue watching out for those. But again, we are starting to get to the end of this system. So there's the good news there. Again, tons of lightning still lighting up the sky. And we still advise you to stay indoors, especially if you are anywhere in those counties surrounding that Kentucky and Virginia border or our Tennessee counties, because we are still seeing some severe activities with 60-mile-an-hour plus wind gust and of course lightning and hail possible with that system.
Right, and again, you can see here on the radar scan where the lightning is, the heaviest band just out of our coverage area near the Beckley-Bluefield area. You can draw the line from there and then go south of Pikeville and then go south of Hazard into Harlan, into Middlesboro, and then down into Campbell and Claiborne County. Again, that's where that heaviest band is going. And, future view, I will say this, Megan, the one model that we used yesterday, the extended high-res model, did a pretty good job being consistent with the timing. This model that we're showing finally caught on board with how this storm track was going to go. So the guidance on this was very consistent and spot on with how everything was playing out. So we'll go ahead and time it out. Here's the 3 o'clock time frame. You can see how it just kind of pushes its way just out of our viewing area.
One thing I want to add with this system is that it is not fully encapsulating the heavy rain behind it, because if we go ahead and start off at the beginning of this run, there is some rain that is not being picked up on this, so you can
Correct.
add a little bit more rain behind it on the timing. That's what we're advising as we're going through this. So by the time we head into that
Right.
6 o'clock hour, that's when we'll start
That's
to
when
see that
everything will
clearing
start to
out
be
entirely.
Correct. Then as we go into the day on Saturday, again, you can see kind of how the wind starts to shift a little bit. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds in the 8 o'clock hour. By noon, we'll see plenty of sunshine. And then, as we talked about earlier, Saturday is going to stay quiet. And so we get into Sunday, that rain chances start to pick up once again. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning.
Go ahead and finish
in
off that
effect.
first.
And then, as you can see, Sunday, those mainly going to be quiet until we get into Sunday night, going into the day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, our first alert weather days, as we are keeping an eye on another round of some active weather. So we do have, let's see, a new severe thunderstorm warning.
And that looks like it's portions of Campbell County, Lee County, and Wise County. Yeah, that is all that's included there. And then, of course,
Lee,
some
Wise,
extra
and Claiborne.
ones, outside of our region. We're seeing Hancock, Hawkins, and Scott. Those are not in the WYMT viewing area, but they're also included in this. One thing to add, there is a considerable tag with this. Now, there is not a tour possible tag, but there is that considerable tag because take a look at those wind gusts. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. Hail size, does that say 0.88 inch?
8,800, so just under quarter sized.
Yeah, so we still have chances for hail with this system. We're still going to see those elevated wind gusts. And again, as we mentioned earlier, just because there is not a tornado does not mean it's not dangerous. Wind gust, especially straight line wind gusts, can be very damaging to buildings, and it can also throw, debris. So you need to be staying inside still as we're watching this remaining severe thunderstorm moving through, because it is dangerous. You want to keep yourself protected, and we've seen several lines of severe weather already moving through, so there could already be debris as you're traveling into portions of Claiborne, Lee, and Wise counties that could be picked up by those elevated wind gusts. So that's why we're trying to keep you up to date with these systems and why we're alerting you to that 70-mile-per-hour wind gust, because that is elevated and damaging as well as considerable. So keep that in mind.
All right, we're going to go ahead and toss it over to Steve Hensley. Steve has some new information. What do you have for us?
Well, it's some sad information, Eric. Unfortunately, the mayor of London is now confirming multiple deaths. Multiple deaths due to this apparent tornado that's hit London tonight. I asked him how many. He says, I don't know. We are still in search and rescue mode. He tells me that he's, quote, never witnessed anything like this. He told me the areas hardest hit were the 363, 1006, the airport, and Levi Jackson State Park, which we've already reported those areas having damage tonight. But again, the breaking news of the hour is that multiple deaths have been reported in the London area due to this tornado. I asked the mayor simply, is there any message you want to get out tonight? And he just said, London and Laurel County need your prayers. And certainly we can all do that. Not only Laurel County, but certainly Pulaski County. They've had major damage. There are no confirmed fatalities out of Pulaski County, but there are injuries reported in Pulaski and Laurel counties. It seems like those two counties are the hardest hit counties. We haven't really heard of any significant damage or fatalities in any other counties, although we certainly have had tornado warnings across the viewing area tonight. But parts of London and Somerset were hit very hard by apparent tornadoes tonight. And again, the latest sad news is that multiple fatalities, according to the mayor, are reported in the London area. I can't help but think about March 2nd, 2012, when I was here along with Brandon and Jim Caldwell, and as the news came in, we kept hearing of more deaths that night, and this is eerily familiar. Even one of the same counties affected, Laurel County, but it wasn't London, it was the East Bernstadt area that had fatalities that night. Laurel County, Morgan County, the West Liberty area, Salyersville, Magoffin County hit so hard on that night, and around 25, 26 fatalities that night in the worst tornado outbreak in modern history in eastern Kentucky. Of course, we had one not a few years ago out in western Kentucky, but we hope the death toll does not reach the number of the March 2nd, 2012. But again, we can confirm now that there are fatalities in Laurel County. I know you guys hate to hear that. There were warnings, and sometimes that just doesn't even matter. When you have strong, violent tornadoes like this, it's hard to escape them sometimes, and that's just the reality of Mother Nature that we have to face sometimes. But again, just to repeat, the London mayor, Randall Weddle, reporting multiple deaths in London. No confirmed deaths in Somerset, but there is significant damage in both counties. Eric.
All right, thanks, Steve, for that information. Just be with everybody in Laurel County tonight. That's
in Pulaski
and
County.
Pulaski County as well. Let's keep them in your thoughts and prayers tonight. All right, let's go to live pinpoint Doppler radar. Let's kind of zoom out and take a look here at the big picture. So we had that line of shower and thunderstorm activity pushing through portions of eastern Kentucky. You can see it right here from south of Beckley through Norton through Middlesboro. This is going to continue to push its way to the east. You can see the lightning and the heavy rain dwindling down slowly throughout eastern Kentucky. You can see heavy rain along portions of I-75. Near portions of Laurel and Pulaski County, you can see the heavy rain here in Perry County, Breathitt County, back up towards portions of Knott County, a little bit of Letcher County going into Pike County. Go up towards portions of Wayne County in West Virginia, seeing some heavy rain at this time. You see that lightning that's just pushing through the Norton area, the Harlan area, south into Campbell and Claiborne County. Now this is going to push its way, continue to push off to the east. It's been moving at around 40 to 45 miles per hour. So again, the heaviest part is done. The heaviest part is done. We just have the thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. We have no tornado warnings. We have no severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado possible tag on it. So they're just base thunderstorm warnings, if you will. So as this system continues to push through, again, we're going to monitor this for the next several minutes as it makes its way out of the viewing area to make sure nothing spins up, because these cells have had the history of they increase, they kind of rotate, they pick up strength, then they die. They increase, they rotate, then they fade, and then they pick up again. That's the pattern we've been seeing with this over the past several hours. With this is that increase and decrease flow. So we want to make sure as we go into the next, I'd say probably 50, 45 minutes or so, that we don't see that repeating pattern again. So again, we're going to keep an eye on this. Right now, we just have that general run-of-the-mill thunderstorm. Megan, if we can take and turn on the auto query information, we'll go ahead and start giving the timing and stuff for the
We did
thunderstorm
have
warning.
another severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Campbell County.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it is just south of
Yes,
Campbell
just south
County.
of that. So let's go ahead and we'll start at this one right here. So this has a considerable damage tag on it, 70-mile-an-hour wind. Hail size is just under an inch, so just under quarter-sized hail. Claiborne County is impacted. Campbell County is impacted. You can see it right here, how it's just going to continue to push through. About 64,000 people are being impacted with this system. Let's go ahead and move up to the next one, please. There we go. This is for Claiborne. This is for Lee County in Virginia, as well as Wise County. This does include the city of Norton. This is going to go until 2:45 in the morning.
And that does have that.
This does have the considerable damage tag on it. And again, we've been talking nonstop about the different categories of the severe thunderstorm warning. This has a considerable tag on it, meaning that the wind gusts can be as high as 70 miles per hour with this. Knock on wood, we've not had one that said destructive. The destructive tag usually means 80 mile and higher. But this is the same system that we've been tracking for the past several hours. This has had a very long and dangerous history, and it is now pushing out of the WYMT viewing area. And then we have the flash flood warning that goes into effect until 4:30. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is radar indicated. So this is a base severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Buchanan and Dickinson County. This goes into effect until 2:30 in the morning. This includes the city of Prater, the city of Clintwood. So again, we'll be monitoring these over the next several hours, or several minutes, I should say. Wise County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. This one initially had a tornado possible tag on it, and that has since been dropped to just a base severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to go until 2:30 in the morning. And so we have that line continuing to push through, again, Buchanan and Dickinson County until 2:30 in the morning. We are seeing a 60-mile-an-hour wind and quarter-size hail being picked up with this system. Again, we've received several reports of storm damage and some wind damage. Now, as Steve mentioned, we do have multiple fatalities reported in eastern Kentucky tonight. So here's live pinpoint Doppler radar. Here's the home view. And again, you can see that heavy band is now pushing its way from Buchanan to Dickinson to Wise to Lee County in Virginia. That's the heaviest band. If you're north of that, yes, you're going to see a little bit of lightning. You'll hear a little bit of thunder. You'll get some heavy rain. But the heaviest part is out of the WYMT viewing area.
And the good news
Megan.
is the leading edge of that last round is now starting to make its way out, and the leading edge is where a lot of that storm activity typically plays. So you can see that the leading edge is, going through portions of Richlands, Lebanon, and that's just outside of Dickinson and Buchanan County. We're seeing it approaching Nicholasville, which is outside of Wise County, Virginia, and even as we travel into our Tennessee counties, we're seeing that edge is just now exiting Claiborne County as you're approaching Thornhill. So the region where we're seeing the most storm activity with these severe thunderstorms is thankfully moving out of our region, and we're just tracking that as the back end of that line, which you can see really is on that Kentucky-Virginia border right now. Once that back end leaves through our Lee, Wise, Dickinson, and Buchanan County, Virginia's, that's when we'll start to clear out. And then as you're traveling towards just the eastern edge of Claiborne County, that's where we're seeing some more storm activity. But the main line is starting to make its way out, just looking at that heavy rain chance behind it.
Hey, Megan, sorry to interrupt. Can you call up the tornado watch graphic, please? Because I think there might have been a change to that graphic. Let me see what we have here. So the tornado watch, for the majority of the viewing area, has now expired. We still have a few counties in it. Lawrence County, Wayne County, West Virginia, Mingo, Logan, Wise, Lee County in Virginia, Campbell, and Claiborne still under the tornado watch. Everybody else, the tornado watch has now expired. Go ahead, Megan.
I want to add that all the counties that have been taken off of that tornado watch were the Jackson National Weather Service counties. Campbell, Claiborne, Lee, and Wise are all part of the Morristown National Weather Service, and Lawrence, Wayne, Mingo, Logan are all part of the Charleston office. Now Dickinson and Buchanan County are also part of the Charleston office, but they are not in it. So that's what we're keeping our eyes on. So maybe that update will be following the next couple minutes, since they are in a different National Weather Service.
Now, if you go to the next map, then we'll talk about this, because we still have the flood watch that is in effect until 4 a.m. For the counties shaded in green. So again, from you can draw the line from Menifee to Elliott County, all the way down to Letcher, Harlan, Bell, Whitley, McCreary County. Then you go back over to Dickinson, Buchanan, up towards Mingo, Logan, and Wayne County. Again, that flood watch is in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning. So about 352,000 people are being impacted. Here are the flood advisories that are in effect for the WYMT coverage area. You can see the line stretching from Menifee all the way down to central and northern Knott, all the way into the majority of Pike County. Then you get a little bit of a lull, but that's where that flood watch is still in effect. But then you go from Knox to southern Clay to southern Leslie to southern Letcher through the majority of Harlan County right here. So you see those advisories still in effect. And again, for the latest timing on those, they will be on the WYMT First Alert Weather app, as well as WYMT.com. Megan, there's the flash flood warning in effect too. This is until 4:30. So you go from Pike County, pretty much north of the Howell Rogers Parkway, till you get into Estill County. That dark green shading right there is where that flash flood warning is in effect. So again, we'll be monitoring this as we go into the next several minutes. So I want to go ahead and give you a grand tour real quick on live pinpoint Doppler radar. And you can just see right here just how everything is now starting to kind of dwindle down, if you will. So we do have some good news in that aspect of it. Unfortunately, it's not been a good evening throughout eastern Kentucky. Just a very sad situation in Pulaski County and Laurel County. But we are seeing that system now pushed out of our area, so there's some good news there. Megan?
Yeah, I also want to add, we did see that considerable damage, tornado warning also extend into portions of Clay and Leslie County as well. So I do just want to highlight those counties, although a lot of the damage reports have been for Laurel and Pulaski. So we're just going to keep everybody in our prayers as we're going through the next couple of days. But the good news is it's starting to clear up as we're heading out of the remainder of the evening. And of course, meteorologist Eric Dean and I will continue to stay here as that last round moves through. But the good news is that leading edge is out, and we're starting to see that end and make its way out. And so we'll just continue to watch, of course, but the main impact we're looking at now is flooding as that last round moves through.
All right, so again, quick recap. The heaviest band is now pushing out of our area. We are seeing some heavy rain